right now.
Yeah. Good morning, Slee. How you feeling?
Everybody.
You look good. You look like you're fully
Yeah,
back.
we're getting back.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we're getting back.
Good. Roars to you, Em. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. You took my spot.
I did. I've elevated my P2 game, Slee.
This is why you got to keep it to yourself, Jorge, or else someone wants to take your spot.
He's here at 4:30 in the morning.
I know.
So
Can't help it,
you don't
man.
have much of a shot here.
Emily and I are early arrivers, and I know exactly where Em parks. I know if she's here or not, or at least I did until I became a P2 person.
Yeah, now you don't even. No, now you have no idea.
I don't even see that level.
Unless you're like looking to your left, right as you're coming down the ramp. Right, that opening.
I think I'm too low. I don't know if I could see. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. But she's off to the corner, so I can't do it. But so when you are attempting to troll somebody, it only works is if the other person gets it, right? Like sometimes if you try, like, I don't even know what's happening. I took Jorge's specific. I don't know how many spots are down there, Jorge.
Maybe
200.
Yeah, down there like 2,000. I don't know. Everybody fits down there.
I know exactly which one he likes, so I took it this morning.
You should get ESPN security or AEG or someone to put a note on his car, like a real note that just will crank it
cease
out
and
that way.
desist?
Yeah, something along those lines. You should paint. You remember in high school when your senior year, you get to paint your parking spot.
You know, we didn't have that, but I know what you're talking about.
I didn't have that either. But
So-
yeah,
I had it, yeah.
Yeah.
We did that.
What'd you paint?
Let's just
yours?
say my parents.
Lakers.
No, let's just say my parents didn't let me
Oh,
pay for a parking spot.
Oh,
They're
you
like,
did-
yeah, you're gonna park somewhere
street.
else.
Like
where
on the
it's free.
street?
Yeah, park
Walk
where
up
it's
the
free.
street.
You're not owning your own
oh, you
parking
had to
spot.
pay for it.
You had to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had to pay for
Yeah,
it.
we had to pay for mine, too.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, everybody kind of paints theirs their own. Jorge should just start painting the. Just start
Niners logo
painting
on
his
there.
spot.
Niner. Well, if you
Niner
paint a
logo.
Niners logo on it, I'm not going to park on it. You can just put your initials on. Emily, what was in yours?
Start painting your spot.
I honestly don't super remember at this point, but it probably had something to do with like 30 Rock. I was obsessed with 30 Rock, so I probably
Like
painted
a
some
Liz
sort
Lemon
of like,
face?
some sort of quote. I probably put some sort of
That's
quote
funny.
on there, but I don't really remember it super hard.
Every
Might
Laker
have put
game,
"Screw you, Dean" even back then. I knew.
it would have been accurate
I knew.
even back then. When did you graduate high school, Slee?
I graduated in 2000.
Your class of 2000?
Yeah.
That would work. That's still,
Yeah.
even 24 years ago.
By the way,
that's
how
an
cool is that?
appropriate
What
sentiment.
is that timing?
It's an easy one to remember.
How the hell did I get 2000?
Well, it's
incredible. It's incredible.
Backdate that 18 years, and
Yeah,
that's how it happened.
that's how that goes.
It's incredible.
2004, 20 years ago, man.
You don't think that's got? I always like.
I mean, it's
I'm
just-
like, we're class of 2000.
If you're just 18 years, like Emily said, it's just that, the next
Yeah,
group
but
of
the
people.
timing of it.
Well, I mean,
incredible.
It's a lot of you. It's not just like you were the only
I'm
one.
not saying I'm the only one.
It's always helpful. My mom was born in 1960, so it's really easy for me to understand how old she is.
Yes.
just because it's kind of easy to.
What
backdate.
class were you?
89.
Yeah, it's stupid. You know,
Yeah, but Emily, tell me if this. I think this is right.
89. I mean,
My,
what does
my
that
class
mean?
has a Taylor Swift album named
Yes,
after it. There you
1989.
go, Slee. I see.
Ew.
I knew that. I
your
knew
angle.
that.
1989 Travis version.
How about
Yes.
you? When you graduate?
2014
Graduated
from
like 3
high
weeks
school,
ago.
18 from college.
I graduated 2004.
Did you get to
20
paint
years
your
ago
spot?
this year. Nah,
you didn't. You
I
said
took
no.
the bus,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It was the limo.
We were just right down the
We
street.
had a student lot, but we didn't paint our spots. That was,
Do you guys go to your reunions or whatever? Like, because I know it's 10 years for me, and I don't even know how it would even be organized.
So, do you really want to know? Because I can
Sure.
give you all the details of this.
Maybe it's different for your school than my school.
Could
but yeah.
be. But my wife is an active participator. Right? She
Yeah.
was an active. She and I went to high school together. We dated in high school, so I know all of these things. She was a participator in high school. She's a participator as an adult. So she was the one that spearheaded all of the reunion stuff for the first couple of times. It's supposed to be your class president that is responsible for those sorts of things.
Your
If you
senior class
text,
president?
Yes.
if you guys exchange numbers, you and Susan, she'll organize yours as well.
I
She
mean,
might.
honestly.
She might.
She goes around to high schools all over the country.
I did my 10-year, had a really good time. Enjoyed myself, got to see some people that I had not seen in a very long time. Enjoyed myself. Went to my 20-year and was bored out of my mind. Just completely bored out of my mind, and did not attend my 30-year. So it was I'm
I went
done
to
with
10-year, and I knew after the 10-year that I wouldn't be going anymore.
Yeah.
And nothing personal,
the right
nothing.
decision.
But I was like, I think we're good.
That was the right decision.
Yeah.
10 years is the one. Maybe 50 to see who's still alive. and that's kind of where you go
Feels
from
kind of
there.
funny. Even at 10-year, it wasn't all that much different.
No.
Like there were still the same. It was like it was comical for me because it was also comical for me when I was in high school because I didn't care about that to begin with, but it was still
Care about
like
what?
the clickiness, the high school,
High
what
school
high school
overall.
is,
Friend
right?
groups, yeah.
10 years later, it's like you guys are still doing that.
Yeah.
That's still kind of
Well,
happening. But
see,
10 years, I guess, maybe not as separated.
Here's
as,
my thing. Very, very, very few people change. Right? Like if you're a good guy, you're a good guy. If you're a cool girl, you're a cool girl. If you're an ass, odds are at 18, you're going to be an ass at 28, 38, 48, 58. It's just that's kind of how it works. You can mature, you can soften around the edges, but you're whatever it is you are, that's kind of so to your point, it's like you're still doing that? Yeah, guess what they're doing today? That. That's what it is.
It's whether or not I'm interested in whatever that is.
You should go.
But I mean, well, one, I don't think that we have them. I don't think that anyone. No, my sisters have had them. I don't think that my school does them. Two, it's very different with my generation because you can keep up with people. Like I mentioned yesterday with the girl that was not very nice to me in high school. That you can kind of stay.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah.
You can kind of stay in people's lives and kind of know the beats of people's lives, whether or not you want to know it or not.
I never thought of that, and that's a great point. That you are as plugged in with whoever you want to be, and you are as distant from whoever you would like to be distant from. And you get to curate your group daily.
I've stayed close with maybe 3 or 4 high school friends, and when I'm home, I see them, or I go visit them in whatever city they live in now, and that's the only people I really care to see.
What about you? Do you keep in touch with any of your high school pals?
Recently, there's 2 of them that are. There's one of them that's going through like some tough stuff, and he like reached out. He's like, "Hey, look, man, I haven't talked. I need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And I know I haven't talked to you in a minute, and we've never lost touch like that. And
That's nice.
And I know I can trust you to tell you some things, and I've been keeping up with them. And then there's another one, Melissa. She just, I've known her since she was a freshman, since high school, literally.
Yeah.
And we keep in touch here and there. We don't talk or hang out as much as we did in high school. And all my high school friends and high school people that I knew, no. Even if I see them now, like sometimes they'll like tweet at me or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
It's funny when you.
I remember them from their high school. I remember their high school face.
Yeah.
But if I see them now, 20 years later, I'm like, okay.
I know you, but I don't remember who you are.
It's
Yeah.
funny when you just graduate, you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep in touch with everybody. Then like 1 year goes by, and you're like, okay, there's 80% of whoever I was in touch with, I'm no longer in touch with.
I'm surprised. That means 20% you are. That's a lot.
Take another year by, now
Yeah.
you're down to 10%.
Oh, yeah,
Take
yeah,
another year by, now you're down to 5%. I mean, that's how it is.
And then there's a handful of people that went to my university, and so like I kind of again carried them a little further than most of the people. I think my class had like maybe 4 people from my class went to UVA as well, so I knew them even a little further. But yeah.
It tends to drop off pretty quickly. I think you'd like it, and here's why you would be a good person to have at the reunion. Em, you have an interesting life.
I have a cool job.
You moved far away, and you have a cool job, and you interact with people and things that most people find interesting, and they don't get a chance to do it.
And you yell at us.
I do that
Right.
when I go to the King's party, the party I talked about where the person revealed they were pregnant. That's essentially my high school reunion because tons of people from my high school go all across, but the only people there are people that actually care to be around. And so that's kind of like a small dose.
I need a movie this weekend. So and it could be Godzilla -1. They're playing a Regal in Pasadena. So I looked it up.
Honestly,
I looked it up this weekend. So if you think that's the movie, but
yes.
give that a little bit of thought here
Okay.
because I literally told Michelle, she's like, "You want to go see a movie this weekend?" I said, "Yes, but I'm going to have to consult with somebody." She's like, "What are you talking about?"
Well,
I'm
you
like,
have
"I
your
gotta
own
talk with them."
private film critic.
Well, and
you've
she
got
also-
access to somebody that sees everything.
And she matches who you are with the movie that she thinks you'll like.
Yeah, I'm looking up. I'll have it for you later in the show. What you should get.
Do you have a short list, and you're going to winnow it down? Or?
Yeah, and I'm also trying to see. You said Regal in Pasadena. That's where you go. That's where you want to go.
I like going to Landmark in
Landmark and
Pasadena,
Regal? Okay.
but Regal was playing Godzilla -1.
Copy that. All right,
And
I'll look for that.
Landmark wasn't.
Go see the Von Erichs. What's it called?
You already saw it.
Oh, you already
Iron
saw
Claw.
it?
No.
Oh.
It's good to see you, man.
You know,
See,
sometimes-
someone doesn't listen.
Did you not see it?
I watched it over the weekend.
Hey. Not that interested.
Speaking of that movie, they're doing
2000.
action. They're doing action figures for Zac Efron. So you can buy the Zac Efron
I
from
saw
the
a
movie.
picture of him from the movie.
Oh,
Holy
stupid.
smoke.
Stupid.
Dude,
We
he
already
doesn't even look like
Here's the
himself.
thing. Wait,
Doesn't.
just wait. Just stop for a second. We already talked about all this, but we could continue to do it
When
again.
did we talk about
This is the only moment I get to do this, so I want to take advantage of it. You actually
Yeah.
looked at a photo, and I said there's no more room for muscle.
Oh, maybe
Right.
that's where I
Yes.
saw the photo.
Yeah.
Maybe that's exactly where I saw it. And I just forgot who told me to look at it.
Yeah.
That's probably it for sure.
I don't get
See what it
many
feels
moments
like?
this. Actually, this is great. I wish there was more of these. It's one of the best moments here.
Hey, you know,
Can we go back to the picture for a second? There's no more room for another muscle.
It looks fake almost. It looks like he's wearing like a muscle suit rather
He's like
than.
tanned. Like he's
And he's like
perfect tan and
so
stuff.
swollen. Like,
Can't even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
If
It's
they
a lot.
had, I think, done
Emily,
that
have you
movie-
seen it?
She's seeing it this weekend.
He's gonna go home. Hey, have you guys seen Iron Claw?
I'm going to tell Susan that she should go
It's
see
so
it.
great.
Your daughter saw it.
They saw it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw it. They liked it. They said exactly what
Remember you
Emily
said the last
I-
scene. It
look,
was sad, and she was.
I
it was
like
heavy.
to be somebody that, this topic aside, generally speaking, I like to pay attention. But it was one of those things that I know I'm never going to run into. So it's like, click, and it's just gone.
You're
You
not
know?
going to run into.
I'm not going to watch it. That once I heard it's about fathers and sons and sad, I'm out. I'm out. I can't. Not that it's not good. Not that it's not incredibly well done.
You can't separate that.
Nah, I don't want
You're
to see
not ready
that.
for it.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
So, was
Miss
it?
me with that.
Is it different? 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
It's different being a father.
That's what I'm saying. Is in. So you would have watched some of these in the past.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would have been more like, and I have a great relationship with my dad. It's not like I have like dad stuff. I love my dad. I like spending time with my dad. He was kind and sweet and loving and all of these things. And so it's not that. I see fathers and sons stuff on TV. It just wrecks me. I just. Not,
This movie
not
especially will.
and that everybody
Yeah,
has
no, this
said
movie will.
that.
Yeah.
Like if one person, yeah, that's sad, but it's not that bad. I'd be like, okay, maybe. But everybody's like, oh, dude, it's gonna kill you. Okay, then no, I'm out.
Maybe I would have lived.
We should have
I
been
would
more
live
subtle.
In
We should have
naivete.
been. Yeah, we should have. Next time our pitch for a movie,
Push
we're
it
gonna come in
down.
a lot.
Say
Push
it's
it
Troy
down.
Bolton.
Push it. Yeah, it doesn't look much like Troy Bolton along the way. Every single Laker game should be at 5:30. I've decided that that's the way that the
Oh
world
yeah,
should look.
for your consumption
perfect,
as well.
perfect.
And here's
perfect,
the best
perfect.
part: is you say that. Basically, I'm just buying time to open the Zoom because I'm not sure what read is coming up here.
Uh-huh.
I think
It is not yours.
It's
Okay,
not. I
good,
got you. You're good. You take your time.
Yep. But even for you, who just has to sit on the couch and watch the games, but I love how you're like, no, I'll still take the 5:30.
Oh yeah. Look, I'd like to wrap up the evening by 9:15.
7:45.
Nah, I can get to 9. 9's fine. We can do that. D'Lo, great again. Why? That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. And for the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Nappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, and that party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
So you had, what, 3.5, 4 minutes, Emily, to put together a curated list for Slee?
Yes. And again, I'm going to give you options, and I can think that you and Michelle can figure out from those options what best suits you.
Von
okay?
Erichs.
Okay.
All right, so if you really, really want to go to the Landmark, Landmark is your number one spot. You don't want to go. If you can find a movie to see there, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Restaurants
So
all around. We grab a drink before, go in. It's a good place.
Yeah, too.
if you want to go in and you want to laugh, you want to come out of the movie being like, that was really good,
Yep.
and feel light, I would recommend American Fiction. So it's a movie about a guy he's an African-American man writing, he's a novelist, and then he tries to play up into his stereotypes, and his book gets sold off the shelves. It stars Jeffrey Wright, Sterling K. Brown. People at the end of the movie clapped and said Oscar at the end of this, but it's
Wow.
also really happy and funny, and you laugh.
Okay.
If you want to go to a movie and you want to think and you want to sit with what you watched and just kind of process, Zone of Interest. Zone of Interest is, I would suggest, we can't really talk about it on air that much. Google what it's about.
Because there are spoilers you're talking about?
It's not really spoilers. It's just a really heavy topic that I don't really want to super get into. But
Save some calls.
Yeah. Zone of Interest. It is a heavy movie, but it is a very, very well done movie. So I don't know what your tone of what you want to go in that movie for. So that's Landmark. If you really want to see it at Landmark, watch. Those are your 2 options, I think.
Okay.
If you want to see something at Regal, this is my number 1 overall pick. I do think you will absolutely love Godzilla -1. Godzilla -1 is fantastic, amazing.
A couple people
So
already
good.
jumped on Twitter and was like, go see it.
Yeah.
Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if for some reason, Lady Slee or you are not really into seeing Godzilla, I would also suggest a funny movie that you'll go. I have not seen it yet, but I've heard great things, and it's really funny. Book of Clarence. Book of Clarence stars Keith Stanfield, and he's essentially playing. He wants to do what Jesus did, but kind of like for like black people, and I don't know. Watch the trailer.
Okay.
It looks really funny, and you'll see what we like for that. And then also, if you just want a classic like action movie, but you don't want to watch it in Japanese, Ferrari. Ferrari is the movie with Adam Driver, and it's about the creation of the Ferrari like racing team.
Okay, so yesterday, by the way, she's the best at this.
It's funny. Well, this is her passion.
This is her world.
This is her lane for
Yep.
sure.
And please start MTV sooner than
when
later.
she was talking, she said, if you don't want to see it in Japanese, Ferrari. I'm like, Ferrari's in Japanese? I missed the
If you
comma.
don't- yeah.
I missed the comma in your speech pattern. I'm like,
Yeah.
it took me a second. Oh no, she's still talking about the other. I'm like, why would Ferrari be in Japanese? It
Yeah.
took me a full second and a half to process that Ferrari is not in Japanese.
If you want an English language movie, but it's an action movie, Ferrari.
So we watched one trailer yesterday, and one of them was the movies that you were talking about, Zone of Interest. So we saw that trailer. Now, it kind of was leading up to something, and then nothing happened, so we were confused as hell. But that's okay.
Yeah.
If that's one that you recommend, then all right, it's going to be one of those two. It's either going to be Godzilla or Zone of Interest.
How much do you decide, or does she decide, or do you have to agree?
Pretty easy. Like, I think, hey, what do you think of this? You want to try this one out? I think,
If she goes, I just don't want to see a Godzilla movie, is it off the list?
yeah, probably is off the list.
Okay.
That's okay. You watch it on your own time if you
But
choose to
but
wanna watch
I
it.
think
Yeah.
she would if I give her the setup. Everybody's saying go watch it. Watch the trailer. The trailer is good. I think she would watch it.
And my sisters,
She
if
just
you
hates
want to,
scary movies. That's all.
it's
She
not
doesn't wanna
scary
see.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's more like Jaws. If she likes Jaws, if she likes Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
she would like this movie.
Okay. I'm
So-
all set.
I mentioned this Monday. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, Monday maybe. That after the Lakers beat OKC, and we're kind of talking about because they were struggling prior to that. They'd lost to Utah. They'd lost to Phoenix. They had not been playing great basketball, under 500 at the halfway point, et cetera, et cetera. And there was 11 games before the trade deadline when we were talking about this. I said, hey, what if they go 8-3? And what if they look pretty good? And what if they start to look like the team that had a little playoff run last year? Do you kind of sit on it at the trade deadline, or maybe just kind of nibble on the edges, or go all in? Because messing with a thing that's working pretty well is a big decision, right? I get it. It's 2 games. However, it's 2 games against 2 teams that I think we all agree are pretty good. It's Oklahoma City and it's Dallas. Lakers looked really good against somewhere between pretty darn good in Oklahoma City and not bad at all, Dallas. And they've looked really sharp in both of those games, in large part because the supporting cast, Rui and even more so D'Angelo,
Much more
have been
D'Lo. Yeah.
really, really good in those moments. A, why? What's gotten into D'Angelo all of a sudden for the last week or so? And B, is it look, he's a good player and his good games are just kind of clustered together. That means there's some bad ones coming? Or is there a bit of a, hey, did we find something here? We're back to our original rotation and this is actually who we are.
So I think the rotation has something to do with it. I think in any sport, it's helpful knowing what the starting lineup's going to be. It's helpful knowing what guys are going to come off the bench. It's helpful knowing what guys are going to close out games. I think you can say that to any sport. It's helpful, I'm sure, when these guys go through their routines and they kind of have a little bit of an idea. What's the script going to look like? It's not a different script. Every single night that you go out, it looks different. If you and I are sitting here doing a show and we have no idea I have no idea coming into the game if Travis is going to be here, or coming into a show, I have no idea if Travis is going to be here.
Yeah.
Travis might come in at noon. Travis might come in at 11. It's like, okay, well, how do we prepare for the show?
Right.
And there's a little bit of that, I think, that's happened with the Lakers all year, and I think there has been some frustration from some of the players, from fans, from, well, what is the rotation going to be? Okay, I get it. They've dealt with some injuries, but Darvin Ham did something a couple days ago and basically said, hey, this is our starting lineup for the foreseeable future. That's helpful.
Very.
There is not going to be I know what the lineup looks like. That's it. It's not, is Cam going to start? Is Vando going to start? Is Torian going to start? Is D'Lo going to start? Is Austin Reeves going to start? I just named five guys right there, and that's all legitimate.
They've
all
all
of them
started.
have been coming
Sure.
in and out of the lineup.
Sure.
I think that part's helpful. But I don't know why D'Lo all of a sudden is balling out. I don't have an answer for it. He's 16 of 32 from 3.
On fire.
He's, in his last 4 games, if you go look at his stats, he's been excellent. Trav, does it have something is it as simple as, hey, I'm back in the starting lineup, this is where I should be playing 30 minutes a game? Or is it, you know what, in my entire career, and especially my time right now, all I've been in trade conversations. F it. I'm just going to go out there and play basketball, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I can't apply which one it is, but what I can tell you is when D'Angelo Russell is effective, the Lakers are just better, period. That there's Reeves, I kind of know what he's going to do any given night. Rui, I don't. Vando, I don't. Some of these guys, I don't. But D'Lo was supposed to be one of these players where he's supposed to be a consistent player. When D'Angelo Russell plays good, effective, aggressive basketball, the Lakers are just a better team. We've seen that in these last couple of games, and I don't think it's a coincidence that they have a couple good wins, and D'Lo has something to do with it.
Here's the challenge for Darvin Ham and Rob Pelinka and everybody that's involved in making this decision about what to do with the roster moving forward. You got to try to parse what's happening. Is it just randomness? Sometimes that happens, right? Where all of a sudden it's like everything's going pretty good. The A's beat the Atlanta Braves 4 in a row last year. It's like, well, that doesn't make it. It's just sometimes just random stuff happens. Shots start to go in at a rate that's a little bit higher than they typically would.
Shots not going in on the
same
other side.
thing. The randomness can work both ways, but just in the moment right now, the randomness is working in your favor. Is it that the point that you just made a second ago? Hey, the trade deadline's coming up. We need to feature him a little more, give him some more opportunities to kind of
very much
put him front and center so other teams go, yeah, he's playing well, we'll be more interested. Could it be what you said about D'Angelo? Personally, like, hey, listen, I may or may not be here in 3 weeks. I'm just going to go out there and let it rip. It could be that. Could it be they're more consistent in their rotations? They're more consistent in their lineup. I don't care what the sport is. If, to your point, if I know what I need out of you is I need you to take out their best offensive player, be as aggressive as you can defensively, and I don't need you to score. I don't need you to I need you to be, okay, cool. I can gear up for that. And I'm going to ask you to do that every night, Al. I'm not going to have you show up one night and say, I need defense. Hey, you know what? I need you to knock down some threes. Hey, I need you to come off the bench. Tonight I need you. I was like, all right, I don't know. I don't care who it is. I need you to have a consistent role. And not only do they have consistent roles, they have the same guys available to them every single night. They're healthy for the first time in a while. The challenge is which of these things is true, or how much of it is this and how much of it is that, and how much is just, listen, we need to get a lot better, because if we're trying to win a championship or get closer to a championship, I need to do more than this. This is not who we are. What we are is more like what we were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's funny because I can't take – I was doing this yesterday. I'm kind of playing this out in my head. I want to get excited about 2 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And I know it's not – as the season begins and you start going through a year, it's not apples to apples. The narrative has changed a little bit. I'll tell you when we could do it when we come back, but part of me doesn't want to get excited about these 2 wins. Part of me wants to put these 2 wins to the side and say, okay.
Join me on the positive, sunny side of the street.
I know.
Get excited.
I know. What's the rest of January look like before I jump to any conclusions? But I know we can get into that.
I've rubbed off on him. I've rubbed off on him.
Me.
Yeah, but what if tomorrow sucks? Welcome to my world.
You affected me.
You're fine. You'll come back out the other side.
It's going to be a bright, beautiful, sunny day. One cloud to the left. And
Look
I'm
at that
like,
stupid cloud.
What is this cloud doing here?
Look at that stupid cloud. That's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. The top drivers on the NASCAR Cup Series and Mexico Series, they will be racing at of America's best venues, surrounded by the best in entertainment. It's going to be, well, the best. The Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. It's coming to Los Angeles on February 4th. Get your tickets right now at NASCARclash.com. You'll have a good time. I'm not a race fan. Doesn't matter. Go. You will have an awesome time. I've been to both of them. It is a great show. Get your tickets right now. NASCARclash.com.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
Snappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, Edit, Party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, oh party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
ESPN.
So Jorge, you went to Laker game last night.
I did.
And then you had a feast after. Like, I mean,
did.
well, I shouldn't say you had a feast before and after.
Oh, man.
Was Laura the bad influence on you, or you the bad influence on her?
Laura was a bad influence on me. Yeah, because I'm trying to watch what I eat now,
Sure.
and I'm trying to get my workouts going, and it's been working.
And then you had street dogs and churros.
I was going to say, it sounded like yesterday probably wasn't the day.
Yesterday was my cheat day.
Cheat day.
Yeah, exactly. So it was my cheat day. So I had soup. I went to this Chinese restaurant. I had this big old bowl of soup. And then after that, I met up with
That's
Laura.
not bad.
No, it's not. It's just
all
soup is
good
cool.
right
But
there.
that's all I had.
Hot
and I was,
fudge based.
and I was hungry. So we leave the Laker game, and it's like the hot dog carts are out there. And then Laura's like, hey, you want a hot dog? I'm like, yeah, depends on how much they are, though, because I'm not paying $15 for $15. I can get a combo at McDonald's.
Right.
Honestly. You feel me? So then I was like, cool, let's get a hot dog. So we get the hot dog, and then I see the elote guy right there.
Oh.
So I'm like, dang, look, how much for the elote? He's like, $5. I'm like, done, make it.
So you had a dog and corn?
And corn. And then I was craving the churros.
Yeah, this guy had a 4-course,
Yeah.
5-course meal
in the street.
In the street.
outside of Crypto.
Yeah. So then I see the guy with the churros, and I'm like, man, those look delicious. I go up to the guy. I'm like, hey, what do you got? He's like, strawberry, caramel, chocolate, whatever you like, man. And I'm like, how much? He's like, $5. And then I'm like, Laura, you want some? She's like, nah, I'm good. I don't like sweet stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm like, we're going to pass on the churros. And then I start screaming, churros, churros. And people are looking at me like I'm crazy. Laura got video of this, so it's on Twitter. If you guys want to check me out, like being a street vendor.
You didn't get the churro, though.
I did not.
So
no.
you went out.
I'm getting the churros.
Even
$5
after
too?
a dog and a corn? That's a lot of food.
Let me tell you what happens. I don't need a lot of sweet, but a little sweet at the end. That's the icing on the cake there.
Dog? corn,
Bacon wrap dog.
churro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Street dog.
Okay, but what's
elote,
the
and churro?
difference? What's the difference when you go to a restaurant?
Nothing.
And
Absolutely
you see
nothing.
what I'm saying? That you get your whatever it is. You can
But
get a cheeseburger or this, that, whatever it is that you eat, and then you end up with some kind of cheesecake at the end. You're like, what the hell am I doing?
I'm going to attempt to split the hair here. Tell me if I see. So from the time you took the bite of the dog to the time that you were with the churro man, how long was that?
Not even 10 minutes.
So there's the difference. At dinner, you sit down, you order your food, you have a drink, the entree comes out, you have your corn on the side, and then you got a few minutes, you chit chat, you talk. A good half hour, 45 minutes goes by. They don't bring you the entree and then bring the piece of cheesecake with it.
But could I also just paint the picture for you? Because he's walking outside of crypto, he can't just walk around for 30 minutes and then wait for the churro guy.
Why? Because there's 30 carts with hot dogs waiting for
Were
you
they
to
snapping their tongs at you?
Of course they are.
Hey,
Yeah, that's how you get their attention.
You know, the funny
they're
thing-
getting aggressive too. They're coming towards my ear. You know, they're
I
like,
don't have cash. I got Zelle. I got everything.
they got
right?
everything.
So then
They'll take it.
Laura's trying to do a story or whatever she's trying to do, and she's like, hold on, don't eat it yet. I'm like, girl, I'm hungry.
I'm
She's
eating
trying
it.
to record her hot dog. She's like, you're already done with yours? I'm like, yeah, I'm not waiting for a picture.
Those dogs are like, what, 4-bite dogs?
Probably
Yeah.
3. It depends on
3 if you had a couple of beers at the game.
But I didn't drink.
Okay.
I didn't. Like,
it's about
we had
$2.50 a
break
bite. About $2.50 a bite.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Good stuff though, man.
Pretty much. All right. So why are you not excited about 2 wins over 2 pretty good teams?
So it's-
one very good team and one pretty good team.
I want to be excited.
Okay.
Like I want to.
Be positive, Sleek. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop being so negative all the time.
Screw you. I want to be positive. Here's, I guess, my hesitation. And I know it's not fair to say this, but it's a reality. Unfortunately, the Lakers have been so average, and I'd go as far as saying they've been so disappointing to me personally this year. They've been disappointing because we're over halfway through the season and they're just at 500. They've been disappointing because LeBron and Anthony Davis are there almost every single game.
I don't think we can say that enough, by the way.
And it's yesterday listening to the broadcast, everybody kept saying that. You know,
It-
that's one of the things. Doc Rivers.
Is this an over? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Am I making too big of a deal of this? Is that not the story of the season? I understand that their performance has been mediocre, but if you said what is the most surprising thing through the first part of the season for this Lakers, it would be Anthony Davis and LeBron James play every night and have been great. Is that not the biggest story of the year?
Is there a okay? If I say the role players aren't playing well, is that bigger than LeBron and AD?
It might be more important, but my point is, if you would have told me through the halfway point, those 2 guys were virtually playing every night, I would have said, not a chance. I would have thought, not a chance, and they are. If you would have told me, hey, the role guys, they all kind of regressed a little to the mean. They're not. I would have said, yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah. I wouldn't have bet on it, but yeah. Those 2 guys playing virtually every night.
No, I don't think there's a bigger story.
I don't think so either.
I mean, you could try to find something with
Darvin.
Darvin Ham. You could try, but it's not bigger than that.
That's it.
It's not bigger than that.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say it, and I think coming into the year, we had our expectations, and now they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder at home, which they're supposed to do, and the Dallas Mavericks at home, which they're supposed to do. And I'm supposed to get overly excited for them to win those 2 games to get back to 500 and be sitting at the 10th place in the Western Conference. Yes, this is what the Lakers have created in our own head. You should be excited about that because look what's happened all year long. I find myself, I'm going to pause right here, and I'm not going to get excited because this is what the Lakers were supposed to be doing coming into the year.
You said that a few times. Were they supposed to? I get before the season, right? It's a little bit like the Rams we talk about. Like the jump off point is kind of going to color the way you think about these things for the rest of the season. Like the Rams are always saying, they're not that good. It turns out they were good. They got good. They continued to improve, and the bar kept moving with them. Right now, where the Lakers are through 42 games now?
42 in, yeah.
That 42 games in, beating a pretty darn good OKC team is a big deal. Beating a Dallas, even though they're both at home, beating a Dallas team that had their full complement of players, that's something to get excited about. At the beginning of the season, I'm with you. They're supposed to win those games, but having watched half a season, it's pretty good.
This is where I'll tell you where I'll get excited. because you could also beat a Clippers team and then get ran out of the building against Phoenix and then lose the next game against Utah as well. Where I'll get excited is they win 7 of 9 or they win 8 of 10.
Yeah.
That, to me, I don't want to look at what they've done these last 2 games and say, what do we got going on here? I just think that any
Are you
team,
elbowing the guy next to you saying, hey, is this happening? Are they finally starting to get this going here a little bit? Or is it,
I need
show me again?
I need the month of January to close out, and I need to see that they went on an actual streak. They got Brooklyn tomorrow. Should they win that game?
Sure.
Of course they should. They got Portland at home after.
They should beat them by 60. Everybody else is.
Everybody else. OKC was one of them, right?
By the way, how do you lose twice by 60 points twice in a week?
Did they lose again by 60?
It was some. I don't think it was 60 again, but it was some crazy high number. Yes.
Good for them. If you're gonna do it right. I didn't know that actually they had another one of those. If they win those 2 games, you're at 4 in a row. You got the rest of the month. You got a game against a bad Chicago team. The Golden State Warriors look like they're completely falling apart. You got Atlanta, who's up trying to trade DeJounte Murray. Can we put together a 7 of 9, an 8 of 10? And I think if you could do that, and now all of a sudden you're looking at the standings, you're saying, they're only a couple games away from the number 6 seed. I just want to see something like that before I get excited over 2 games.
I exaggerated. It's 3 games. They've lost by 28, 62, and 23. So
if
yes,
you take the
They
average,
did just win.
yeah, but
They
about
did
like
that.
they should
35
beat
a
that
game.
team. They did beat Brooklyn. 62?
They beat Brooklyn?
They did beat Brooklyn.
I didn't know
105
that.
Oh,
to
that's right,
103
yesterday.
Last night.
Yeah, yesterday.
What else do you want to know about the NBA?
Why my Spectrum Sports Plus works 30% of the time.
That's call Geeter and ask him. What else you want to know? Like I can if
That
I
would be awesome.
My dad.
Hey, Geeter, what's up, brother?
My dad told me something very important. So he goes, "It's okay to say you don't know if you know who might know the answer. Just kick them that way."
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know somebody who does. Let me put you in touch with
Al,
that
why don't
person.
you just call the Spectrum customer service?
No, call Geeter, and maybe he'll tell you to call customer service.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you go,
That's
no,
what
you
Geeter would tell me.
Just give me the hack. Give me the hack.
Do you think we're going to carry that over to the baseball season? Separate topic. The Spectrum Plus thing. Think they're going to do the same thing with baseball with the Dodgers? Because I know they did it for the Lakers this season.
Spectrum Plus.
You mean
would
can
they
you
do
watch it?
for the
Like,
Dodgers?
the whole thing. So here's the whole thing that happened with the Lakers. You
Yeah.
could buy the package. You could see every Laker game that's on Spectrum for the season for X amount of dollars, or if you want to pay monthly for X amount of dollars.
I think they're all going there.
Yeah, the
It's going
baseball's
to
going to
take
be there
time.
too.
I think everyone's going to be there, where you could basically just buy your squad, your team, because you get the league pass, something like that. Every game is basically blacked out anyway, so it doesn't help you out. I think they're all going to have their own subscription, their own membership. Just another way for us to pay monthly. Did you cancel your Peacock yet?
I didn't even know I had it,
Okay.
except for I knew I had it. But no, I didn't.
I did not have it.
Yeah.
And the moment that game ended, I'm like, okay, well, so now we cancel this, right?
Do you want to watch Real Housewives?
I do, but for principal
I
reasons.
knew the game, the Chiefs, who they played, the Dolphins game was coming up on Peacock. I was pretty sure I had it. So like on Friday, I pulled up the app. It started. Okay, I got it. Went back to it, and I don't know how long I've been paying for it. I'll probably pay for it in perpetuity.
I don't know
until-
why I was so angry to have to pay for it. Like everybody spends money in stupid things, and for some reason the Peacock thing was like the most difficult purchase for me.
And those things are priced just right. It's not like if it was $35 a month,
No, it
you're
was
like, oh, I'm out of here. No
$7,
way.
I think
it's
it was, $6.
like $7, and then you do the math. You're like, that's like 35 cents a day. Like, what's the, who cares?
Well, here's the problem. You do that with 33
bet.
subscriptions.
Yeah, that's up, man.
Of
It
course
adds
does.
up like crazy.
I have them all. I don't watch any of them, but I believe that just about. I don't know what I don't have is Paramount, which I think I need to get because Emily keeps mentioning it. She keeps saying, "Oh, you can see it on
Top Gun is.
Paramount Plus." What?
Well, that's what Top Gun's going to be.
what Top
And
Gun's gonna
also,
be.
Maverick is on Amazon.
well, that's probably because you bought it.
No, I don't. But maybe
well,
I don't know.
it's now moving exclusively to Paramount, and then
Yeah.
also because that's where the curse lives.
Oh, okay. That's the Nathan Fielder. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, did you see? Boop. Coming up next, it's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. So I was just talking, just sent my guy Armando Rojo a text out at Rotolo Chevrolet because he's going to take care of me. I have a couple of questions for them, and this is what they do at Rotolo Chevrolet. They take care of people. This is why they've been Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. You have a question, you have the vehicle that you have your eye on, Rotolo Chevrolet takes care of you. This is what Mike Capozio and his team at Rotolo Chevrolet have done year after year after year. They're going on their second decade of winning Dealer of the Year awards. Transparent, courteous, upfront, you feel good about it. It sounds simple, it's really hard to do, and Rotolo does it every single day. So if you're looking at a new Silverado, if you're looking at a new Chevy car or truck, in fact, took the truck out last night with some buddies. They're like, oh my gosh, this thing has more room in the back than anything I've ever seen. My buddy G-Fish said that. This is what I'm talking about. The right car, the right truck, at the right price with the best customer service you've ever experienced in your life. Rotolo Chevrolet, right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit in Fontana. And when you get in there, tell them that Travis sent you. And if you can't get in, online, RotoloChevy.com. ROTOLO, RotoloChevy.com.
Snappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamaha Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, Event, Party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, oh party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
Travis and Sliwa, and it's time for the segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that?
Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See?
Did you see that? I saw it. I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see?
Oh, hey, did you happen to see?
It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
Slee, did you see that Jorge bought a food item from every vendor outside of crypto last night?
And I wanted to sell some items for some of those guys.
Yeah, you were like, were you trying to get a percentage? Like, what are you doing?
18 sweaters, you got 14
a poncho,
beanies.
a Lakers poncho.
Were you feeling yourself, or did you have a few at the game?
No, he said he was dry.
Okay.
I was dry. I didn't drink. I had
They
one
got
beer.
everything outside of crypto. I was talking about LA Live was basically closed, the center of LA
Drywall,
Live.
I got a hole in my ceiling that I need to fix.
They have
I got a guy.
everything
I knew you would.
outside of crypto.
What's up, Jorge?
All right, guys. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but on my Twitter, I posted a portrait of Jay-Z. I just sent it to you, Alan.
Okay.
I did this when I was in college. So we're talking about high school. We're talking about, when our reunions, when we graduated and whatnot. So I also found my yearbook. Okay. So I was going through the messages that people leave you at the end of the year.
Sure.
And phone numbers, to which I was tempted to call a few just to see if they're still
that'd
the
be-
same.
that'd be
right?
cool.
That'd be exactly. So
That's a good idea, by the way.
So I have a bunch of numbers on there from soccer teammates to other girls from high school and whatnot. They're like, hey, we keep in touch. KIT, keep in touch. You know?
Hags, have a great summer.
Exactly. So then I went back to my picture, and I remember my senior quote. I read my senior quote, and my senior quote says, "Life is like a time machine. In order to go into the future, we dream, and in order to go into the past, we remember." Do you guys remember your senior quote from, or what is one of your favorite quotes that you to this day think and tell people that?
So, because I grew up in the 18th century, we did not have senior quotes.
Well, Shakespeare was
he was a young and up and coming aspiring writer. Yeah, he hadn't made his bones yet. We did not have senior quotes, but I know that a lot of basically everybody else has since then. The one that I've always liked, because it's ironic for me specifically, but I like the sentiment of it, and yet I violate it every single day. I'm going to get it mostly wrong, but the gist of it is right. It's the Teddy Roosevelt man in the arena quote, right? That it's very easy to criticize the guy in the arena if you've never been in the arena. I love the sentiment of it, and yet I sit here for 3 hours a day and criticize people. So the irony of it is not lost on me, because I really do agree with it and like it, but here we are.
That's funny, the exercise of going back, at my parents' house. I know my yearbooks are there, and it's got to be easily 15 years since I probably opened up one of those.
Yeah.
So to go back and just kind of
But
look
it
at
is really easy to backdate for when you graduated from high school, because
It's 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 2000. So that one's really easy, which, nobody else, unless they graduated in 2000,
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
say
Unless
that.
you're born
Every
in
other high
Turn the
school in the
millennium.
world.
I mean, 2000.
You were in 82.
We're going to have to wait another 1,000 years for that to happen, just an FYI. Quotes back then, no. I told you a quote, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I don't know what the hell we were talking about. It was, don't take directions from somebody that doesn't know where you're going.
I like that.
And
Do you know who said that?
I don't know who said it. I'm not
What's the
sure
quote
who
again?
said it. Don't take directions from somebody who doesn't know where you're going.
That's a good one. I like it.
And I think that sometimes, maybe back then, I didn't pay much attention to that, but as you got older, certain quotes hit you a certain way. You remember things a little bit different. But in high school, I can't remember off the top of my head what the quote would be or what it was.
So mine was from 30 Rock. Like I said, I was obsessed with 30 Rock, and it was just Liz Lemon saying, "I want to go to there." But if I was going to do it, like if we were doing a yearbook quote today, a quote that I live by, I would have to choose between two, and they're from the same poet, Mary Oliver. So one is, what are you going to do with your one wild and precious life? And then the other one is, whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. And I have that on my wall in my room. So those are the two things.
Those are deep. I like
Yeah,
those.
so nice.
Yeah.
What was yours, Jorge?
The one on my yearbook?
Yeah.
Life is like a time
Oh,
machine.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
In
Life
order-
is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
No.
That's
But
twice
I
now.
heard-
That's twice now. Your memory.
No, I'm having a bad day. I can't
No, it's not
remember
gravy.
anything today.
I had soup yesterday.
Yeah, I do remember. That I'm not going to forget.
You're parking in P2 now? Who the hell are you?
And I'm optimistic. You know what is messing me up? I'm exercising. It's really affected me in a
good way.
Really bad for
well,
your
it depends
mental
on
health.
good. Like maybe my body is feeling a little better, but I can't remember things. I'm forgetting the important things in the world. Yeah.
All right, and then the other story I have is Jason Kelsey went to a McDonald's and he gave his favorite employee a autographed jersey, and he revealed that he gets 2 sausage and eggs McMuffins with a large coffee. What is the nicest thing somebody's done for you, or what is the nicest thing that you've done for somebody that meant something to you?
Also, that's a little small for an offensive lineman. I just had the 2
Yeah,
sausage
2
egg
sausage
McMuffins.
That's probably just the snack on the way from the house
go
to
take
the
his daughter to school.
Right, to get there. The nicest thing that anybody's ever done for me. Shoot. I mean, so many people have done so many wonderful things.
Do you have a
Can I get sappy?
Okay, I was going to say.
I was just going to say that if I'm getting super sappy about this, it's my mom and my dad who gave me every opportunity in the world, who loved me and my brother every single day. It was never not understood that they were there for us. And you don't know what that means until you see other people that don't have it. That when it's there every day, you take it for granted that this unconditional love and support that comes from these people, that's the nicest thing anybody's done for me.
I think I won't get that deep. I think for me it's more smaller things, and it could be more stranger related, like little things. When people do nice things for you and you don't even know who the hell they are, and it's a small thing, like I say, somebody's holding the door. Somebody, this has kind of gone around and this has happened before. You pull up to a Starbucks and somebody says, you kind of all seen this, hey, the person in front of you already paid.
You better hope that LZ and Morales aren't in the line in front of you, or you're dead meat.
Opios and
espresso machines.
You better hope Trav isn't the next person, because he ain't paying it back.
No.
He keeps going. I think for me, Jorge, it's those little things of like, here's a stranger, I don't even know who the hell they are, and they did something small and nice. You're like, hey, you know what? Maybe this place isn't all that bad. All
right, got a couple more of those. We'll keep that going. Plus, I had a real life angel and devil moment last night driving home, and you're not going to be surprised who won. Let's just put it that way. It's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN.
Zappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, event party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the...
Good. He's walking back the other way.
Berg, don't listen to him, bro.
He was about to come in here. I'm like, why is he here now?
Berg, don't listen to him, bro.
Every time, sometimes he just comes, like when he shows up at 11:30, I know why he's here.
Anytime,
he's
buddy.
here to do Factor Cap.
Don't listen to
When
this.
sometimes he just kind of,
Get
all
your
of a sudden
headphones.
the door swings open. I'm like, Bergman, seriously? Really?
Just get your headphones. He's doing this on purpose.
I gave him some love on my podcast this morning.
Are you trying to kiss and make up
No,
right now?
I did. I already told him that he. One of my favorite Greg jokes is him talking about Stetson Bennett being at Georgia for 8 years and still not graduating. It's strong. It's a strong joke.
Confused because he's opened the door now 3 times.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
that's
sure
what
if
I'm
he's
saying.
coming
You
in or
never
he's
know
not
if he's
coming
coming
in.
or going. So
tell.
it's like it's a trope, right? The angel and the devil, right? That you have the competing voices, and they've done it, in cartoons and in movies. And one guy saying, "Do it," and the angel saying, "No, don't do it." Right? I don't know if I'd ever experienced it to quite this degree. Last night, I was out with some friends, and I'm driving home.
G-Fish?
G-Fish was one of them.
What's up?
G-Fish and Darbo. And so
He
we're
drive?
I did not. I drove. I was driving. It was an upset. And
Bring
we
your
were in
yearbook?
we were in the Silverado.
Okay.
So anyway, we're driving home, and I'm like, man, I could really. It's I don't know. It's a little bit before 9. I guess maybe 8:30, something like that. I'm like, I could really murder some McDonald's. Like it had that thing that there's not one far from where I live. It's 5 minutes away. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to. So I dropped the 2 guys off, and I'm like, I have a decision to make. I can go right and go home, or I can go left and go to McDonald's. Get the McDoubles. You've been doing good all year long. It's not a big deal. You walked today. You've earned it. Don't do it. If you do it today, it's going to start a whole chain reaction.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Had this full conversation in my head right before I turn and I go home. I'm like, okay, I made it. Pull into the driveway, park the truck,
Good. Yeah.
get out, go inside. And Susan's like, how was the game? I'm like, it was good. I said, I think I'm going to go to McDonald's. She's like, what?
Oh, man.
And I'm like, I can't stop thinking about it. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, but I went on my walk today. I don't know what to do. I said, fine, I have to go to bed. So I literally went upstairs and changed, got out of like this getup and put on my PJs, for lack of a better word, because to
Your robe
force
with nothing
myself,
under.
basically, yes.
Yeah.
And to not, it was a compulsion. It wasn't like I could or I couldn't. It was my innermost bad devil voice saying, go get McDoubles. Go do it. You've earned it. Get the Coke, too. Yeah. It's McDonald's Coke. It's the best Coke. Yeah. If you're going to get that, get the fries. And I didn't do it.
Good job, Travis.
The angel won.
Good job,
The angel rarely wins.
Very disappointed in you.
And now I'm thinking about it all over again.
Yeah, because I think basically it's just a matter of time now. Whatever you
You
did
wanna go after the show?
yesterday, whatever you did yesterday, now you're thinking about it today. And at some point, it's going to happen. So you might as well just get that craving and that urge out.
But see, that's the problem. That's what the devil says.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the devil says. But the devil also knows is that once I get you to have one thing,
well, then it all starts falling.
It's
apart.
over.
Yep.
You've already blown today. Might as well blow it the rest of the day. Well, I already blown the week.
I'm going in and out today.
Is that you booked it for today?
Well, I booked it for I booked it for last
Table's hard to
week
get.
until I ate we had the sandwich, we had the Pizza Hut, we had everything, and she was very disappointed. And she's like, well, okay, I'm not going to go until we go. I'm like, just go. She's like, no, I don't want to go. And then this morning, last night she told me, she's like, hey, can we do In-N-Out tomorrow? I was like, sure. I don't have a game today. I don't have anything, right? Like, when I'm done today, I'm done. And then this morning she had to remind me, she's like, don't screw up at work. Let's go get In-N-Out
Thursday's usually a food day around here.
I won't have anything.
You'll be able to stay strong?
I'm pot committed for her.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So Jorge's not wrong because my son Michael
no
has
chilies
a
in there.
baseball
I'm not gonna
game
get the
today.
chilies. Yeah.
Not going to have time to go get something quick and easy and decent.
Yeah.
Might happen. Just saying. So,
I
back
don't
to
think
the
it's going to
Lakers.
happen. I think you're going to.
I'm going to try.
You're going to.
I'm going to try. Maybe the mood will pass. I'll drink 6 more gallons of coffee to suppress my appetite, and we'll keep it going from there. And I'll just have migraines the rest of the
Get a
day.
hot dog outside, man.
Not a bad choice. Back to the Lakers. How much of what they're getting ready to do or not do at the deadline. It's the 8th,
February 8th.
February 8th.
Trade deadline.
Has to do with whether or not LeBron is going to exercise his player option at the end of the year, knowing what he's going to do. Do you operate because to me, Slee, knowing the answer, regardless of the answer, hey, I'm going to be here, or I'm not sure I'm going to be here. I don't think he would tell you, yeah, I'm leaving at the end of the year. But I still haven't made up my mind or whatever, might nudge me in one direction or another. I need to know what we're doing here. Am I making a move that will literally just help me for the next couple of months and however long we play into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Or am I making a move that will help me now, maybe next year, and maybe beyond that point? Because LeBron's presence is always going to dictate where you are in that decision-making tree, because he's still one of the best players in the league. He takes up a lot of money, not because he doesn't deserve it, but just because he's LeBron James and he sucks up a lot of your cap and all that stuff.
Of course.
His presence is the fulcrum on which all of these decisions are made.
Can you answer the question first? I want to know from you, what would you do?
I need to know. I just said I need to know what he's going to do, because
but you're not going to know. And
I'd really try to twist his arm and get an
what you're saying,
inkling.
But we know LeBron's career. You're not going to know. Now, I would say, I thought coming into the year, I thought there was probably, hey, I wouldn't be shocked if this is LeBron's final year with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think as we get to this point, he's got the player option for next year. I actually feel more confident that there's a much better chance
I'd
Bron's
be really
be a
surprised
Laker next
if he
year
weren't here next year
than not being a Laker next year. And that could be for multiple reasons. Number one, I'm not a college basketball expert. Doesn't look like Bronny James is going to be drafted next year at some point. I could be completely wrong. I haven't watched one game of Bronny James, but it also doesn't sound like this is going to be a guy that's
if he were killing it, you'd hear about it.
A top 20 pick or something like that,
Yeah.
right? So I think that has part to do with it. I think the other part, too, is, he's 39 years old. Is LeBron picking up and saying, let's move on and let me grab my family and go, I'm assuming, chase a ring, right? Like,
who knows? That's what's so hard. It's really hard to get inside his head. Because
what would he do? Like, if he left, what would be the reasons?
Miami, Austin.
I don't think. Okay, so let's put it this way: would LeBron leave to chase a ring?
I don't think so.
I would lean towards, if the situation was right, it was perfect, maybe.
If he were on one, or he's got 4, right?
Okay.
I understand everybody always wants more, but this is not hey, I got this hole in my resume that I have to try to fill. His championship pedigree is established. He doesn't need to. But is LeBron James a better basketball player because he has 5 instead of 4? I don't think so. He's already one of the 2 or 3 best guys ever.
I think a lot of people would tell you, if he was able to get a ring that late in his career,
other
still
people
doing what he's doing,
fine. But I'm talking in his head. I think LeBron is LeBron, and no one has more self-confidence than LeBron. It may be just challenge. It may be he wants to play with a certain person. It could be a million different things. I think he's here because A, he's still really good. B, what's a better place for him with taking all of it into consideration, right? Do they have a chance? Yeah. Is it the best chance? Maybe not, but it's not like they're not Portland. They're not nowhere, right? They still have a chance. His family is here. His business interests are here. It's a name brand that matches his own. Like wherever LeBron goes, it's LeBron, but the Laker brand is just as powerful as the LeBron James brand. They go together really, really well. So I don't see a ton of other options. I think the most likely other is I've had enough. And I really don't see that happening either because he's still too good.
Yeah, and I think we're all going to know when it's his final year, in my opinion. As in,
you think he'll let us know?
I think we will know, and that's the only
because we're watching him play poorly, or because he said this is it?
I think there's going to come a point in his career where he decides to tell. And by the way, he might be 43 at that point. I don't know how old he's.
But it's a Kobe thing where, hey guys, this is it. This is my last season.
It's going to be my final year.
Okay.
I think that there will come a point for that. Bron, let's just say he loves the attention.
Sure.
So to have his final year, B, everywhere I go, it's the final time that I make this stop. And that's the only one where I could see if he were to make a decision at that point. I'm just saying, in a couple of years, I'm going to go back to Cleveland for my final year. Maybe. You know, and I don't know, but maybe. There's
not zero.
There's the nostalgia of this is where it all started. I'm from the area. He's from Akron, but close enough. But that's the only thing I can think of. I'm going to go back to your last question about the Lakers need to know what LeBron's going to do next year. I don't think they're ever going to fully know because that's just how Bron's been his entire career. And B, I don't think that really stops me from doing what I need to do in the offseason. I don't think that stops me from what I need to do at the trade deadline. Let me give you an example, Trav. This trade deadline should not determine, based on what LeBron decides to do, what the Lakers should do.
Mm-hmm.
If the whole goal this year, and the whole goal always is with the Lakers, you got to compete for a championship. The only question that you have to ask yourself at the trade deadline is this team good enough to compete for a championship? And if the answer is no, I think they're going to find a way to address it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if the answer is yes, that'd be really tough to sell yourself that it is good enough to compete for a championship at this point.
There's a third option.
What's the third option?
There's both of those I think are A and A1. The third one is we're not good enough to win a championship, but there's not a move that's going to make us good enough for a championship either. So don't burn assets for no good reason. I know I'm not good enough to win it, but there's not a player out there that if I add them to my team, that I am good enough to win it. So why would I spend the money to get closer to not winning
Can I give the front office some credit in this? I don't think – that doesn't mean they can't take a chance and fall flat on their face. But I want to give the front office a little bit of credit from that perspective because I don't think the front office is going to just make a move just to make a move.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they feel like, hey, this move's going to help, then it will be something that
the
affects
perfect
it.
move, Al, is it helps them. Maybe it gets them over the top. I don't see that move out there right now, but it makes them better, and at the same time, it makes them better for the 24 season, or I guess that next year's the 25 season, the 26 season, that it kind of opens it up with, or maybe even not as much open it up as it doesn't tie an anchor around your leg and pull you to the bottom if it doesn't work out. Right, to where it's
that
like
could be a Levine move.
That could be that move, or
and the
something
other one
in
could
that
be
ballpark.
a DeJounte Murray move, where you're like, no, I could see this guy being a Laker for the next 3-4 years.
In a perfect way, but again, nobody really knows for sure, right? That I agree with you. I think the Levine move is more likely to be the oh God, what did we do? And the Murray one is more likely, hey, we got flexibility moving forward with this, but who knows? Or you could just keep it and keep the assets, and then LeBron's gone whenever he's gone. You got the money, you got the picks, and you can do all those things.
So I just saw this come across. NFL Network's on in our studio over here, and it just said that Bill Belichick has started his second interview with the Atlanta Falcons. Am I going crazy here?
Yes.
Can someone please explain to me why the Atlanta Falcons is a good head coaching job? Like I cannot fathom it in my mind. Maybe we can talk about that next, but it's crazy.
Let's do that. There's some NFL coaching stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense. That is near the top of the list. It's coming up. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Snappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamaha Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, and it, party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, Give me Laker tickets.
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
So this is what happened just a couple minutes ago, or at least reported by NFL Network, was that Coach Bill Belichick, the greatest coach potentially of all time in the NFL, is having a second-round interview with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And I just cannot, for the life of me, understand why a coach like him would want to go to the Atlanta Falcons. They don't have a quarterback. They suck. They don't have a great team around them. I understand. Okay, you can get paid, but if your idea is to go and win as many games as possible each regular season to get to that goal that he ultimately wants, which is to be the winningest head coach of all time, why would you go to the Atlanta Falcons? Okay, here's one thing that they might have.
Maybe bad division?
Bad division, sure, whatever. And that maybe you have a good draft pick, you trade up, you get Caleb Williams, but you're in a rebuild.
Why would you want a project when
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, I don't know how old is he?
Yeah.
Let's call it 68,
Sure.
9, something like that.
But yeah, the Atlanta Falcons is an ultimate project of a team, and you just came from
Yeah,
a
what is the
project that you created in New England, and you sucked. You couldn't win anything.
Especially when there's a lot of coaching jobs available.
Good ones.
Right.
Seattle's a good one. The Chargers are a good one. The Raiders are a good one. And not that they don't come with some warts as well.
Sure.
They do, but the Falcons, it's interesting you put it like that. I don't think the Falcons are necessarily a bad job, but it's a benign job. There's
That should go to Ben Johnson. That should go to a DC university that's trying to get his first head coaching job.
It just doesn't seem like a place where a legend goes to kind of run out the clock,
Right.
Unless that's exactly what he wants to do. Like, I know that Belichick, 6 Super Bowl titles. He's been to the Super Bowl 9 times. I don't need to read his resume. When you get a little older, you get a little tired. You're looking for a path of least resistance sometimes, and maybe that's what that is. It's Arthur Blank will give him whatever it is he needs to do whatever it is he wants to do. He'll give him full control of personnel. He'll allow him to bring his sons on the coaching staff. He'll pay him whatever he wants to be paid. He can have as
be
much
indoors, so you don't have to be cold.
Atlanta is a very livable city. You can work 8 hours a day if you want. You don't need to be in here, 19 and a half hours and sleep on your desk. This can be a 9 to 5 if you want it to be. I need the credibility that comes along with you. I need to download whatever is in your head to try to rebuild this organization, and it's just a soft off-ramp for him. I don't know where he is mentally, but It's a great question because I can't come up with a football reason that that's where he'd want to be.
He's also everyone says he's a historian of the game. He's a historian of the game. He loves the game of football. He wants to be in this Legends of Football. Then why not to go to a historic franchise like the Raiders or somewhere else? The Falcons are not a historic franchise.
Can I throw this one in there?
Yeah.
If he's on the Raiders, everybody's paying attention to everything because A, Bill Belichick, B, Raiders. Raiders draw, even when the Raiders are dog meat, they get a ton of attention.
Hey,
right?
what's up, Holmes?
The Falcons can even be halfway decent and no one pays attention.
Yeah.
But that's without Bill Belichick as your head coach. If Bill Belichick is your head coach, you're going to get eyes.
You're going to get eyes, but you're going to get fewer in Atlanta than you would in Vegas. You're going to get fewer in Atlanta than you would in L.A. You're going to get fewer in Atlanta than if you're taking over for another guy like Pete Carroll who has this thing cranked up and working really well. Atlanta is one of the more anonymous markets in the NFL. Not small market, just Atlanta's kind of in there with Tennessee and Tampa and these places. Not that they can't be good, but it's just like they don't have these rabid fan bases that are all over the country. It's just like maybe he just wants a soft landing spot.
And also, I think, if I was
a little
going to
surprising, by the way, if that's his.
I just can't come up with anything else.
And I agree with I don't understand what the allure would be for Atlanta. The owner there,
Arthur Blank. See, I remember things. I'm fine.
You do. I know that he's.
You should see Von Erich.
I heard somebody saying that he's 80, 81 years old, something like that, and there's a desperation to want to win.
Almost like when Peter Seidler was like that with the Padres.
Yeah, and, unfortunately, Seidler's situation was he was dealing with a health issue, and I'm sure he was told, hey, you only got so much time. And he
get
went
your
all
affairs
in.
in order.
Yeah, went all in. But he's at an age where they had a real chance of winning a Super Bowl, the 28-3 or whatever the score was when they lost to the Patriots, and maybe this is his all in.
Well, you brought something up too, like you said he's getting older, you get tired, this and this. Could it be location?
Sure.
Turner said, I don't want to play on the West Coast. I want to go back to the East Coast because my family wants me there.
Wherever home is home or closer to home is better than further from home, right? He's an East Coast guy. He was a New York guy. I believe he was raised in like Baltimore or Minneapolis or something like that. Like this is that part of the world is more home to him than the middle or the western part of the country. He's going to coach. Atlanta would be odd. Like, you're talking about, Slee, where if all of a sudden Pete Carroll comes and he's decked out in Charger stuff, or Jim Harbaugh, you're like, all right, let's go. That looks kind of cool. That looks exciting. Bill Belichick with the Falcon logo on his pullover would be like, that looks ridiculous.
Cut off sweater.
Yeah, that looks ridiculous.
So Ramona Shelburne just weighed in with us on a text message, and she said,
was Slee on it?
No, sorry, she did purposely leave Slee out of it, and she did make a point to say that.
Freaking Ramona.
So she said that Atlanta, that he's pulling a Brady, that he's going to the weakest division in the NFL, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. But I don't know, like you're still gonna have to face the NFC.
You are, but it's like anything else. If I can skip the prelims, cool.
Because honestly, the AFC East was the weakest division in the NFL for a long time. I mean, the Patriots obviously were the best team in football, but they had an easier path to get there.
I'm not saying that this is what it is.
I'm not hearing anything. I'm just texting Ramona.
And I'm not saying that this is why he's doing it. And I don't know what's in Bill Belichick's mind. Comfort and ease matters more the older you get. How am I going to have to? Taking Caleb Williams seems like a chore. Not that he's not a good, but I got to teach this guy to play NFL football. I got to live with all the ups and downs that come along with it.
Desmond Ridder had to play football.
Right. But you're not wrong about that. It just seems to me that Bill Belichick would win. They just won. What did they win? 8 games. I think they won 8 and 9.
And Patriots or the Falcons?
The Falcons. I believe they went 8 and 9. They just won 8 games.
They had to win the last game to get
with
in.
Nothing happening.
They went 7 and 10.
7 and 10. Okay, that's not good, but that's not terrible, right? That's just below average. So if they're going to win 7 games with a nobody coach, they're going to win 9 with Bill Belichick.
And there's an opportunity that they could get a quarterback in the market.
Yeah.
One like Kirk Cousins. You get Kirk Cousins on the Falcons.
Not if you have anything to say about it.
I really do want Kirk Cousins on the Steelers, and I would love Kirk Cousins on the Steelers. But if Kirk Cousins ends up with the Falcons, that team could get to 10 wins.
Where he's not going is Dallas. But this is my 30th year doing sports talk radio.
Okay.
Okay? It's a long time. There are not many occasions anymore where I'm staring at my phone and I get an alert, or I'm watching TV and it's on the bottom of the crawl that I go, are you blanking kidding me? What? Yesterday was one of when Mike McCarthy will remain as the Cowboys coach. I literally went, are you blanking kidding me? How is that even possible? They just got housed. They lost. I know the final score was 16-point differential, 2 touchdowns.
No, I got dominated.
They lost by 4 touchdowns, and it wasn't even that close. He's won 1 playoff game in 4 years. You brought him there specifically to get you over the hump because Jason Garrett, who was there for 10 years, couldn't do it. You get smashed by Jordan Love in the 7 seed, and you come back? What am I missing in that?
Yeah, by the way, it because it didn't happen right away, and
Yeah.
because they didn't even also and entertain some of these other coaches that are available, you would have thought that, I guess the more that you didn't hear any rumblings, the more you just assumed that he was going to come back. Because if they had fired him, wouldn't they have done it?
No.
Monday,
No.
Tuesday?
I strongly disagree with that because if they lose by 4 touchdowns, right, and you fire him that night, it's never make a decision when you're mad, right?
Can't you do it Tuesday?
That's
Just like
what I
don't
thought it
grocery
was.
shop when you're hungry.
Right. I thought it was one of these. I'm going to give this a little
Couple
bit
of
of time
days.
so it doesn't seem like I'm just
Knee-jerk.
reacting to this. Had it been 3 weeks from now and they canned him, that would be a surprise. But inside that same week, I thought the deeper into the week, maybe they're trying to get their ducks in a row to see who they can interview, when they can interview him.
Yeah.
That he made it through is shocking to me. I was literally blown away by it.
Do you think there's a world in which they did try to get people to interview, and everyone said no?
I don't.
Why not?
I don't think so. I think that the Cowboys' job is a big enough job to where you're sitting down having the conversation. Like, this is the Dallas freaking Cowboys.
Right.
That is a good roster. That is a good team. You do have a quarterback.
You're set up for the rest of your life no matter what happens if you've coached the Cowboys.
Because you go and you do media.
Jason Garrett's on TV and he's not very good at
and
it.
please get the heck off of my TV.
Yeah,
And the window was too fast for it to happen.
That's it.
I mean, wouldn't you just, even if you're any of these other big-time coaches that are looking at different spots and different, wouldn't you just use the Cowboys as a leverage point? Hey, if I'm negotiating with the Raiders or the Chargers or whatever it is, I got the Cowboys also knocking on the door? I don't think so. I don't think that was ever.
I want to put the two together, that if you were saying you're surprised that they waited as long as they did, like if this had been 3 weeks from now and they decided to keep him, then what you're suggesting I think would be more likely, because they kicked the tires of all these guys and they realized, you know what, nobody wants this job. But A, somebody wants that job. It's the Dallas Cowboys. B, you take every interview you can to leverage the other places that you're going to go. Even Bill Belichick should go sit down with Carolina.
Well,
listen to the pitch.
And on top of that, too, if you took over the Cowboys' job, all you got to do is win a couple playoff games, and I'm not saying you're seen as a hero, but you're doing something that the previous coach wasn't able to do. You're already set up. You already got a team that it feels like is going to win 10 games again. You know what I mean? That they're in a good position, so it's a good job.
I'll bring it back to the Rams real quick. This is why the Rams, I think, have more optimism in their building than just about anybody else that isn't just Super Bowl caliber good. Like the Niners obviously are optimistic. The Chiefs are optimistic, et cetera, et cetera. But the Rams have the right coach. They have the right quarterback. They don't have an ownership group. They don't have an executive group that's in the way of what everybody wants to do. And the Cowboys can't say yes to those same things. The quarterback.
A lot of organizations can't say
no.
that.
The quarterback is a question mark. The coach, it's not a question mark. We know, not good enough. And the owner says he wants to win. Does he? Kept Jason Garrett for 10 years. He just kept Mike McCarthy again for a 5th year. Does he? I know he says he does, but are those guys championship caliber guys? He wants attention and power and credit. And if Belichick rolls in and wins, he ain't getting it. And he knows it, and he wants to avoid that at all costs. Factor Cap coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Zappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, event party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
It's so cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, hey Greg.
Hey.
Glad
Hi.
you're here. You didn't open the door 3 times to join us this time.
I wanted to go the 4th time in that last segment, and I was like, nah, I'll just stop at 3. I really should.
Yeah,
But
things
that's
are
what
better
the
in threes.
That's what's cap is you, Travis. It's you. Why are you here? Why are you here? You always come to me and say, hey, come in whenever you want. Come whenever you want.
Yeah, but he's
no,
lying.
Why are you here?
Well,
which one is the lie?
Come in whenever you'd like, as long as you have a purpose to come in.
Well, I don't want a purpose. I just want to come in.
All right, so up
You and
first.
they have a purpose. It's Factor Cap.
I'm going to explain this after I ask you guys and get all your answers, okay? So I'll explain why I'm asking, but bear with me here for a second. So your partner, girlfriend, wife, person you're dating, says, hey, I'm so sorry. Would you mind peeling this orange for me? I guess really hate when I get it on my fingers. Would you peel this orange for me? What do? Do you peel the orange for her? Travis, fact or cap?
Fact, I peeled the orange for her.
Berg?
Fact. Why wouldn't I?
Alan?
Fact.
Why so soft?
And Jorge?
Cap?
Why not?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Slap it. Slap it.
He's out of it.
Yeah.
He's out of
Cap.
it.
Hey! Why would you not peel the orange?
Because I'm either doing something else, and then if she doesn't want to get her nails dirty, I'll just like kind of
Get it started?
Get it started, and then here, go finish it. And she's like, okay, cool, thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's
She's pregnant. Stop
Not well. She's eating an orange.
Orange negates pregnancy.
No. Orange could be any time, not just right now.
So here's why I'm asking. There is this theory on TikTok that's going around right now called the orange peel theory. And these girls will record themselves doing the same thing I just said. They're starting to peel an orange or like have it be like, hey babe, would you just mind? Like I just don't want to get my nails dirty, or like I really hate peeling oranges. Would you do it for them? And the response from their partner tells them everything they need to know about how they would treat and serve the person that they're with. If they some guys again question, and it's like, why not? You can do it. You've peeled oranges before. And, like, why don't you do that? So there's people that do that. There's people that say, like, hey, like, no, I don't really want to do it. Or there's people that do it, no questions asked, of course. And there's people that preemptively peel the orange because she knows that she hates peeling the orange. So I think it's a judgment of the relationship style and maybe red or green flags.
I'll give you a little bit of the background. Peeling an orange is not a big deal. If you want to peel your orange, I'll peel your orange.
But that's
I would
the whole
just put
thing.
out my
It's
hand.
not that big of a
I would
deal.
just put out my hand and take
Right.
it and give it back to you. Like there's no.
But here's where my brain kind of goes to as well. Something that easy? Yeah, I'll do that, because then you can ask me something a little more challenging. I say, nah,
exactly.
I already peeled your orange.
Yeah,
how much more do you want from
Trev,
me?
fix the toilet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. What are we
And
asking
peel an
for?
orange?
Nah, not both.
Peeling an orange is so simple and easy, and the citrus and everything, it smells great. The whole thing, I know, and that doesn't apply to everybody. But if she's saying, hey, can you go do 2 loads of laundry? I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to make a big deal about that. But an orange?
Am I
But
the
the whole
only
thing is like if they make a big deal out of something as small as peeling an orange for this person, it kind of leads to maybe there's more things.
And how do you preemptively peel an orange
So-
for somebody? You don't even know that they want the orange.
Maybe
You're supposed to be able to read their
Be like,
mind,
hey, I
Greg.
Just
I
right
peeled
on
the
the
orange
same
for you here.
wavelength.
This relationship's coming to an end. Why? What happened? You didn't even know I wanted an orange today.
You don't even
I
care.
wanted that orange.
Yeah.
You don't
And that's
care.
it.
do think that it's an interesting thing of like just a small thing. And I had a partner.
An orange situation.
I had a partner, and I also would always ask them to peel my orange for me, and it was always a nice little sweet thing.
Can I ask a random question? When you guys do peel an orange, whether it's for yourself or your partner, do you always try to get it off in one piece?
I try so hard.
It's fun.
Especially with the cuties. Those
cuties are kind of easy.
Cuties are easy.
It's when it's an actual orange that you can't.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's almost impossible.
You have to be very patient.
Well, here's
you
the
cut
other.
off both sides of the ends, put lines down all the way around, and then you just peel them off. It's really easy.
If I accomplish the goal of just not squeezing all the juice out while I'm doing it, it's mission accomplished.
All right,
Got
so
juice running down my elbows.
Here's the next thing. So DeAndre Ayton apparently missed his game because he spent hours trying to get out of his driveway because of ice on his driveway. He's in Portland. So Portland's having crazy ice storms right now. So he missed his game supposedly because there was too much ice on his driveway. So whether or not we believe that's actually why he missed the game or not, but there is a California equivalent that you could tell your boss, like, because like in back in Connecticut, I could be like, I am so snowed in, I cannot make it. Can someone else come? There's a California equivalent to something like that. Burke, Factor Cap.
You're shaking your head yes.
I think so.
I'm trying to figure out what it is, because traffic is not an excuse. There's no sense ever, because with Waze and with Google Maps, you just plan for traffic. You look ahead of time, you plan for that. It's something that could happen here that would do that. I mean, not weather related. Earthquake, but then it's everybody.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
It's not a specific thing for one person. So no, it's Cap.
Al?
I want to hear yours.
Fact. I think the traffic is one.
No.
I had
Plan for
one.
it.
No. I had one happen while I was working here. I think this might have been just right after COVID, and we had just started coming back into the office. When I tell you the freeway was closed. The 110 was closed. And you had no way of maneuvering because, like everybody else, they're also trying to maneuver. So it wasn't that you weren't going to work. It was, I can sit in this bad boy for an hour and a half and try to get in, or I could just go home and be ready on time. Even if I went through
I go to the Waze app,
but even
it tells you other directions to go to get around all of that.
So even if I went through Waze,
tell them.
Even if I went through Waze, there's certain ways to get in that you cannot avoid. I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to do it from home, so that then I'm going to do it on time and we don't have to worry about it. So
Trev?
That's the one.
I'm with Al. I think that's it, because let's go. Remember when the freeway burned down the other day?
Right.
This is all legitimate.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's
how often
just
is a freeway
in his
burned down?
own
But
world.
how often do you get an ice storm in Portland? Not very often, right? So
probably more often than a burning down freeway.
A little bit, but not really. They don't get this kind of weather. So here's what the next day, you can't use it as an excuse. That day you can.
Of course you can.
Because you're coming in, the freeway's burned to the ground. Everybody in the city is trying to take alternate routes.
Yeah, and if I'm
it's
on
log jam.
Waze,
You can't
what do you
get there.
think 100 other 1,000 people are doing? They're also on Waze.
The other ones.
But everyone's trying to. So if we have to get here, we're on at 10.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm here early, so I could wait it out. But Al, if the freeway burned to the ground when you leave your house
At the 110.
everyone else trying to get here, you're not getting here.
You're
in
not
time.
getting here.
It's not happening.
You get here an hour and a half, at least 2 hours before the show.
Okay, but
you get here like 5 hours before the show.
Even if I get
Everyone
here at
gets here.
Even if I get here at 8:30, there are moments and situations where you're like, I don't have another choice.
You can't get.
I'm better off just going home.
I've
and
missed
doing the show
work
from home.
here one time because of this. Okay, I'm coming up. I'm on I-5 coming up from Orange County.
What year was this?
This was morning show with Key and LZ.
Okay,
and
so Waze was the thing.
No, this was 3 or 4 years ago. So, but here, tell me how you Waze your way out of this. Okay, I'm coming along. All of a sudden, I hit traffic. Okay, it stops, and I realize it's 5-10 minutes. We haven't moved at all. Now you can see the lights in the distance, the flashing.
Sure.
I'm past the exit. There's no.
That's tough.
And the freeways, it was a fatality accident.
Yeah.
It's closed. The freeway is closed until they clear the accident.
No, just open up Waze.
I'm pinned in. I got 10,000 cars behind
when
me.
you're pinned.
There's 10,000 cars. I'm stuck. I can't get
but
anywhere.
if you show the cop Waze,
And it's the only time
Google Maps too,
I've
they're
ever
fine.
missed work.
Okay,
I called
can I
Raj.
See, that's fair.
can I give one more? The only other one that I think,
That's fair.
because we have this situation in California. I have it.
Egg is wrong.
I have it. I don't think I faced this, but I know it's been close. When we had the fires, and I know down in San Diego, we had really, really bad fires, like 2004, 2005, whatever it was. When I'm telling you, ash everywhere. When I'm telling you, you shouldn't even be outside. Like, there are predicaments in California that happen. I think fires are one of them, depending on where you're at.
I think I mentioned this on the air yesterday or the day before. My brother's moving to Portland, right? So my mom and dad are in the process of moving him to Portland. They got stuck in this ice storm we're talking about yesterday. My dad and my brother got stuck in their car for 3 hours at the bottom of a hill because they couldn't go up this hill. And finally, somebody that had like a four-wheel drive helped them get to the top of this hill.
Like hitched them onto the car?
Nope, literally put them in their truck and said, I can get you, cause just to get back to my mom and my niece and all these things, like the whole city. And Portland's not super hilly, but it's hilly enough that if it's icy, Aiden missed the game because of ice. It's a real, and my dad fell, and now I'm worried that something terrible is going to happen. So anyway, that's
Jorge?
it. Yes.
No, I'm with the guys. Traffic just too pissed.
Waze it, Jorge.
All right, so Dino Medvedev won his match in the Australian Open today, but the story about it is that the game ended, or the match ended. I don't know how the phrases. Match ended at 3:39 in the morning local time in Australia.
Australia time.
He was playing until 3:39 where his body was.
My goodness.
But people play. Medvedev is a fantastic tennis player. He's one of the best tennis players in the world, and so people probably pay a lot of money to go see Medvedev play. And so you spend a lot of money. You want to see this. Do you stay to the end? So you spend your hard-earned money. You go see it. You're already committed. You're staying until midnight. Do you stay all the way till 3:39 in the morning? Alan, fact or cap?
Cap.
I've never heard you say cap faster on any question, period.
Guys, I was at
why.
I was at a international soccer match in San Diego where the game went to penalty kicks. It went to extra time.
Kicks, yeah.
I left before extra time started. You think I'm staying till?
And it was 7 o'clock at night.
It wasn't even 7. It was like 5:30.
Okay, so
I'm staying. Yeah, I'm not staying.
you pay $1,500 for these tickets, and do you stay till the end?
You don't know Sliwa. I'm not paying $1,500 for a ticket. Hey, listen, if I paid something like that, obviously then I'm much more pot committed. If I'm paying $100 for a ticket, it's a lot different than $1,500. I'm looking at it differently if I spent that kind of an investment on it.
Trev?
I think I'm cap. I think I'm leaving 2. If I've spent some money, maybe it changes a little bit. The only
And
scenario.
when do you leave?
So that's a really good question.
Yeah.
The longest event that I've ever personally attended was a Dodger Reds game a million years ago, and Pete Rose was closing in on the all-time hit record.
Wow!
Like he wasn't going to get it that night. He was, I don't know, it's like 15 or 20 hits short, but we were getting close. And the Dodger game, and I don't know why I remember this. My grandmother took me to this game,
Oh, nice.
and so the game at the end of 9 innings.
So they were still
it's
in
a tie game. Game's tied at the end of 9 innings, and my grandma's like, "Okay, we're out of here." I'm like, "Let's just stay to the 10th inning. I want to see Pete Rose hit one more time." Okay. Well, it's tied at the end of the 10th. Oh, the grandma, come on, let's say one more inning. Let's do this. I want to see Pete Rose hit one more time. We ended up staying like 15 innings.
How far to go?
15 innings.
Oh,
we
okay.
stayed to the end. So if you keep like, hey, if there's something that's kind of holding
incentive?
your interest, then I think you can stay.
It could be the longest tennis match of all time, for all you know.
It could be, but now with baseball, because they were not doing that anymore, I'm either in for 9 or the end. There's no, I'm going to leave now.
What was that tennis player's name? The 6'10"
John Isner
guy. Yeah.
Oh, that went forever, right?
3 days.
Yeah, because they stop, sleep, come back.
3 days.
That's way too long.
It's crazy.
He won, right? Isn't one that?
I don't remember. Nicholas Mahut was the other guy.
Other guy?
Wow.
Couldn't remember
how
that
do
you saw a
remember
movie last week, but I do remember that.
Crazy. It's cap. I think I wouldn't stay for the whole thing because it's tennis. Although if I did put $1,500 in, I still think I would leave. But it would depend. If it got to like midnight and I'm like, all right, I'll stay for a little bit longer. But once it got to like 1 o'clock, I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. This thing is not ending time any soon. It's just time to go.
I don't know if I stay till 1. I'm like, well, I might as well just stay
I'm not
now.
staying till 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know that it's going that long, but I'm like,
Well, with tennis too, like so it was a 5-set match.
Yeah.
Once once Medvedev won the 3rd set, you're at least having one more set.
Sure.
That's an hour if it's anything.
Right.
And if he wins that, you're at least another hour until the conclusion of the 5th set.
Right.
You're buying yourself hour chunks of time at that point.
And what round is this?
Opening round.
Opening round. Oh, yeah, absolutely not. Look. If it was a finals.
It's not the final, no.
If it was the final, maybe you can get me to stay, but no way.
Of a spring training game.
Yeah. No, I'm out. Opening round, out.
Fact. I'm
Yeah.
staying because of the story. It would be a fun story to tell. Hey, you know what? I was there. I was there at 2 or 3:40 in the morning.
No
whatever it
one's
was.
remembering this.
Hey, but I paid the
He
money.
would.
It's an
God
experience. I'm paying for an experience, and then I happen to go to the longest or one of the longest tennis matches. Hey, fact.
And you won't have to waze your way home because the roads will be wide open. You could just
missed
drink.
all
you
actually-
Go straight to work at that point.
Say,
Unless
you
it
also
burns
just
down.
go straight to work.
Hey, both of those things can happen. I heard one of the craziest Ram ideas I've heard in quite some time. We'll do it next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. Prize Picks, Slee. How about this?
Yeah.
You can use Apple Pay now to do your Prize Picks.
bad.
You can get your winnings deposited straight into your Apple Pay account with Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is awesome because it's fun. It's easy. You can turn $10 into $250 in just a couple of clicks, more or less on your statistical projections. Put your expertise to use, and you can win big. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, Prize Picks has you covered.
All right, we almost had it yesterday. I told you, we went to the picks. Luka was 32.5 points. We took the under. He had 33. We almost had it, but that's what makes it fun. It makes it fun because you get a chance every single night to pick some games. It certainly adds some intrigue to it. With the Prize Picks Sports app, you can be making your picks right up to the 4th quarter. Join the 7 million Prize Picks fans today. A couple other things to keep in mind with Prize Picks. Takes about 60 seconds to submit your entry. Do it for anything. You got NFL games this weekend, 4 really good games. At least we hope they're going to be 4 really good games. All the NBA games that are out there, just go to prizepicks.com/710. Use that code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions.
Zappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, and that party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, oh party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. 5th Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. 5th row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
10 ESPN.
We had it on Prize Picks. We
You
had
just
it.
missed. It's funny you said.
Had
I
it.
was looking at it last night at the box for Luka. I'm like, I remember you bringing him up, and
Yep.
we knew we had LeBron.
Got LeBron.
And we missed Luka by half a point.
Half point.
They're good at setting those numbers. Yeah,
Good to send those
that's why
numbers.
you gotta, you know.
But listen,
But it makes you
attention.
root for somebody that's not a Laker. You know, you root for Luka to get that one extra point.
Of course, you, especially when it's a blowout like that, and you know that they're going to win the game. It's like, can we please give Luka the ball?
And you watch the end. You're like, you don't want to check out because maybe it'll happen.
Absolutely, it's the backdoor cover, right? When you're playing some football games as well, it's like this guy.
Sean McVay knows about that.
They're up by 13. It's like, yeah, that's not the point. I need
watching.
I need them to score a touchdown and turn this into a 6.
I was watching
Like, remember
Pittsburgh
when-
Buffalo this past Monday like
Yeah.
it was freaking everything because of our picks.
Remember when McVay took that thought meaningless field goal
field goal,
against
yep.
the 49ers in week 2? And
He
you're
had
like,
to
oh,
address
well,
it.
yeah.
People are asking him questions at the presser.
I still have no good explanation for why they kicked that field goal.
I don't think he did either.
No, he did. No, it was
Yeah, I don't think
strange.
he did either.
It was, well, we wanted to get our end game operation together.
Sure.
And maybe we can make a stop and get Matthew Stafford the ball back.
But the game was over him. The ball's going through the air. There were zeros on the clock.
No, I think they did an onside kick after that.
No. Game was over.
That's what made it
That's
so
what was
random.
so weird
is
about
because you wanted the only justification was, hey, well, we kicked with 20 seconds left so that we can get an onside kick and then
Yeah.
take a Hail
Well, that's the
Mary
one that
or
messed up
whatever.
the spread, right?
Yeah.
It,
So that's
well,
when the
not
foot-
if you were on the right side of
That's
it.
when
It
the-
didn't mess it
that's
up.
when the football gods.
No,
ran
he took
against
a.
it.
They kicked that field goal. I forget who it was against.
I think that was
it
literally-
again?
It was the 49ers.
It was the 49ers, yeah.
But
yeah,
I think that was game. I think that was the final,
It was
final
weird.
play of the game.
It was weird. Can we stop with one particular topic? It's come up a couple of different places.
No.
Hey, the Rams, maybe trading Stafford now is the thing to do. What? Did nobody watch what we just watched?
Who's having that topic?
I heard it on Unsportsmanlike where they were talking about maybe going younger in the draft and using this new window to get younger at that position.
Okay, look, so you use your draft pick to go get a quarterback for the future.
Maybe. Or you use that draft pick to help Matthew Stafford get what he needs.
Which is fine, but I'm just saying that I understand if you wanted to justify.
Yeah.
If we find somebody that fell to us at the right at the right place that we thought this guy was Sean McVay a couple years from now, that's interesting. I'm okay with that. I don't have an issue with that. But the conversation of like Stafford's not still doing it. Did you watch him in the playoff game?
I was watch him all season. Like, I understand that they got hot at the end, but we were doing this morning. If I said to you, for next season, for the 2024 season, I'm not talking about for the next 5-year window, 10-year window. For next season, the Rams are as currently constructed, but you can trade Matthew Stafford for any other quarterback in the league.
For 1 year.
For 1 year. We're going to play one season. The only guy that I'm saying, all right, give me that guy, is Mahomes. If you
I
said,
might add Burrow.
Okay, Burrow, perhaps. That's 2. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's not awesome. I'm not saying Josh Allen isn't awesome. I'm not saying that there aren't other really good young quarterbacks
I don't
in the
think
league.
there's another one.
Purdy.
Not Purdy, stop.
I don't think there's another one.
There isn't another one. And this is why
I think that's the furthest you can go down that list is those 2.
Yeah, multiple people put out Tua Tagovailoa. That's absolutely
Wait,
the
what is
worst
that?
option.
Somebody help me here, because I don't even want to add fire to something. What's the argument? What am I missing here?
That he's young and he has an arm and yeah.
So
and
they
McVay
want
could unlock the best version.
So what do they
of him.
want to do? They want to trade? Are they talking about trade Tua for Stafford?
Yes, that's the idea. That's the genesis of it. But there isn't a what if you could get blank unless the blank is Mahomes and maybe Burrow. And I don't even know. Burrow, I'd maybe think for half a second because
Burrow's a baller.
He's terrific. Mm-hmm. But watch what that dude just did. And think about it. We just saw how good Matthew Stafford can be if you give him, doesn't have to be the greatest offensive line in history. Is it NFL quality? Yes. Okay. What did that look like? Does he have weapons at wide receiver? Yes. Well, what did that look like? Does he have a running game that you can rely on that's going to give him that extra half a second regularly because they got to play the run defense first? Yes. What does that look like? He was making throws in that line game that there aren't. Maybe Mahomes can make a few of those. Maybe not. Like I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league. I'm saying for the Rams right now, there is not a better option out there that is realistically coming this way, or would I even go talk about?
I'll go back to this. I think the only conversation for a quarterback with the Rams is identifying the right backup quarterback.
You don't think Stetson Bennett's that guy?
Probably not going to do it. Identifying the right backup quarterback, number one. And number two, I like and it doesn't happen that much in the NFL anymore. The Rams might be a team where you can do this. I like the drafting a quarterback and let it marinate. Let that guy sit and watch for a year or two. I know that's not how the NFL works, how it operates anymore.
Love.
But I know that's not how it operates anymore, but there are also not a lot of teams where the pressure is not on, where you have to throw that quarterback into the mix.
That's Jordan Love is a great example. Patrick Mahomes didn't play his first year. He played the last game of his first year. Alex Smith was the quarterback. Let's go back a little bit further. Aaron Rodgers apprenticed for a few seasons under Brett Favre.
Phillip Rivers did it with Drew Brees.
That's what I mean. Like there is something to it. The problem is if you take a quarterback in the first round,
There's pressure. You got to throw them out.
You got to throw them out
but
there.
But they don't have to. That's my point. And I'm not saying go use your first rounder on a quarterback, but I'm just saying that if you could identify who that quarterback potentially is for the future, and you get him a little bit later, nothing wrong with that.
We're doing our picks against the spread next, Em?
No, we're doing
we
our
are
draft.
doing. It's DeMarco right now.
No,
it's the Iron Sheik. What's it called?
We're drafting iconic
is Morales
voices.
Is today Tuesday?
Because it's in honor of James Earl Jones' birthday yesterday.
Oh, okay. There you go. Iconic voice draft. Coming up next, it's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
Snappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamaha Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, and Party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats.
We are drafting iconic voices, okay? Because it was James Earl Jones' birthday yesterday, and he is one of the most iconic voices of all time. And so I thought, I'm racing through my mind. There's a bunch of people that we can think of.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to draft in the order of Travis, Jorge, Alan, Emily, back up, back down. 12 total, because that's all I can fit on the graphic, right, Graham?
Sí.
Right, yep. Okay, great. All right.
Simone.
Travis, you're first. And are you going to make any sort of snide comment about you being first or anything?
No, I think this feels right.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Travis.
This feels
This
like
is a good one.
The world is in order.
Some of them, you don't have to have first. It's a good one to get first.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take the guy that I think is the most identifiable like bass voice that's out there. He has been in movies as an actor. He has voiced some of the most iconic characters in film history. He is oftentimes voicing things that you're not even quite sure that's him, and that is him. It's the reason we're doing this. James Earl Jones.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time.
Now,
Does that change your answer at all?
I don't like that movie. I like him in that movie. Like, I would have chosen a Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. Or you don't know the power of the dark side. Or this is CNN.
But his voice is like a little bit modulated there. I wanted his true full voice, Trav.
I get it. I think you're trolling me, but I will take James Earl Jones with my top pick.
All right, Jorge, what's your pick?
All right, my pick is from a guy who voices one of the coolest dads, an iconic father that he's lived in your living room for over, 30 years, Travis?
Oh, yeah, 34?
35, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
35 seasons, whatever it is. His name is Dan. I was going to say, what did I tell you guys?
You wanted to call him Castellano. Castellaneta.
Castellaneta, that's his name, and he's the voice of Homer Simpson.
Who the devil are you?
Don't panic. Just come up with a good story. My name is Mr. Burns. Don't!
And that's what it's just a voice that you hear. I sent you a Spanish version of this, and they nail it.
It's unreal. You know what's funny? Like, the Spanish-speaking females are indistinguishable. It sounds like Julie Kavner speaking Spanish. It's unreal.
That's crazy. All right, Al, your pick.
All right, my number one pick, again, just iconic. You can't, you think of some of the better movies of all time. For me, Seven is one of my favorite movies of all time. I know it's dark. I'm not trying to tell you that's not. Shawshank Redemption, as good of a movie as well. And Morgan Freeman, and every time you hear his voice...
Almost took him number one.
Every time you hear his voice, it's certainly a voice that stands out.
Sometimes it makes me sad, though, Andy being gone. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright.
I'm really shocked that fell to 3.
Yeah.
Because I think that if you hadn't picked it, I would have definitely picked it. Everyone always says, if you want anyone to narrate your life, it's this person. If you want everyone to, he's the voice of God in your head. He literally was in Bruce Almighty, I believe. He also did like March of the Penguins.
I was going to say, he narrated a penguin movie that you were riveted by. Like, why am I watching this Penguins? It's because Morgan Freeman's talking. That's why.
Okay, so I'm going to pick this next person.
Good and Unforgiven, too.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a good one. Mm-hmm.
I'm picking this next one because he not only has probably one of the most iconic lines that is so camp that I'm just like, this is amazing. Even he says, like, I don't know why people love this movie, but whatever. And then he also played a very important character to my childhood because I really loved this series of movies, The Chronicles of Narnia, and he plays Aslan. But I'm not going to play that role. I'm going to play him in the most iconic single sentence in all of movie history. I'm taking Liam Neeson, and this is what sound I pulled.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a knight.
Deep.
Great choice.
Like bristly voice, again, kind of similar to Liam Neeson, like a different flavor of the same thing. And this is, if you don't know what Sam Elliott sounds like, this is what he sounds like.
I got the horses in the back. Horse tack is attached. Hat is matte black. I got the boots is black to match. Riding on a horse, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley. You ain't been up off that porch now. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
And that is from? It's from the song. It's the Lil Nas X song. I'm a horses in the back. And it's a track. But that's from the Doritos commercial for the Super Bowl last year.
That Sam Elliott narrating anything Western, just it feels like that's the voice of the Old West.
Completely.
Yeah.
All right, Al, what's your second pick?
Okay, this one's going to take me back, kind of growing up a little bit, because I think so many of these iconic quotes coming from movies, Terminator, Predator, Kindergarten Cop, it's not a tumor.
It came in to my trivia yesterday was the Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, really?
And I don't know why, and listen, he's accomplished what he's accomplished, but from a movie perspective, if you hear his voice, I mean, you know obviously who it is, so it's Arnold for me.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!
He's got so many.
Yeah, all right. Good choice. I'm having a hard time fighting everybody on these. I think they were all really good choices. All right, Jorge, your next pick.
My next
cookie
pick
down. Now.
my next pick is another iconic voice that helped paint the picture of baseball for everybody in Southern California and basically the country. One of my favorite lines listening, this stuck with me. I'm driving home somewhere, and he opened the game by saying, "Beautiful afternoon in Los Angeles with cotton candy skies." And he's painted the picture for you for a beautiful game that was about to play. And we're looking at a towel right there that says, "Throw your sombrero to the sky." Vince Scully.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
That's it, right? Of all the iconic
That's
calls.
more important than get to the chopper.
Of all the iconic calls, right? The most, arguably the most famous is, in the year of the improbable, the impossible has happened. But that cut that you picked, it's time for Dodger baseball.
Yep.
Simple, clean, Vin.
And I think that was his last one. It's the last one, his last broadcast doing that. It's time for Dodger baseball. Love Vin. Rest in peace. All right, next one. Travis, you got 2.
Yeah, so my next one, well, actually, both of my next ones are super recognizable, even if you might not know their name right away, and both of them associated with a level of uncomfortability, something that is menacing, something bad's about to happen when you hear these guys' voices come. This guy is a filmmaker. He's actually quite funny, but when you hear Werner Herzog's voice, you know something weird is about to go down.
Now we test him. How do you feel about the high salaries of today's baseball players?
Okay,
you pulled the Simpsons line. That's great.
I'm also going to pull another one because I'll tell a story about this. I love Werner Herzog. I've met Werner Herzog before at my classes at UVA. It's really awesome, and he's still a funny guy, and he's got enough. But I'm gonna play this next one, and it's about nihilistic penguins.
Is there such thing as insanity among penguins? I try to avoid the definition of insanity or derangement. I don't mean that a penguin might believe he or she is Lenin. Napoleon Bonaparte. But could they just go crazy because they've had enough of their colony?
That's perfect.
I'm really mad you took Werner Herzog because I was thinking about it. Also, if you've seen The Mandalorian, he says "Show me the baby."
Yeah,
that's him as well. All right, so you got another pick, Trav.
My next pick is you hear it, you know it. He's very funny. He's a great actor. There's no other voice like him. It's often imitated to sometimes very well, sometimes very poorly. Christopher Walken.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
It's kind of crazy how he has gotten so far with a voice like that.
It's weird.
It's like him and maybe this other person would pick later in the draft, so I'm not going to reveal their name, but they're just grating on your ears. Like, how can you possibly be so successful? But it's almost that uniqueness that sets them apart. All right, Jorge, your third pick.
Okay, so I'm going to go with another iconic voice in the sports world, and I got to know and hear him more because of my video games. And it's John Madden from those Madden series from EA Sports, and then one of his iconic commercials. Well, one of the commercials stuck to me is when he used to do something for tough acting to knacking.
Bro, it's funny when you said that earlier. I'm like, I already knew the entire thing.
Exactly.
I thought you were gonna go Miller Lite, but then I realized you're not old enough for Miller Lite when he'd come crashing through the screen.
And then remember, he used to circle everything. Oh, he's doing this. He's running from here to there. He would paint the board. So John Madden.
Fun.
Yeah.
The last thing I'd say when I was coaching Raiders before we went out on the field is don't worry about the horse being blind, just load the wagon. This is a fodder bucket, this is a mother bucket, and since the last game, they had a baby bucket. They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
Yeah, so even if you don't play the video games, he's in your brain and he's so fun.
I feel like that's the most underrated one so far. I didn't think of Madden. I didn't think of Madden. John Madden's a great pick.
Also, when you were describing, you grew up playing his video games, the voice of it, I thought you were going to say John Ireland. Come on, he was in the NCAA basketball video game. Yeah. All right, Al, your last pick.
Okay, my final one. Forget the whole Indiana Jones, the Untouchables. I don't care about any of that stuff. Guys, when we think Sean Connery, we think of The Rock. We know that it's arguably the greatest movie ever created. So let's quit screwing around here. Sean Connery, he talks. We know who he is.
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I didn't know that was a quote.
He's not wrong.
Oh, man.
I didn't know that was a quote.
Simply the best.
So where did I go with the last one?
Sean Connery.
Best.
I also, wait, who did the impressions of Sean Connery? Was it Norm?
Oh, so good on Saturday Night
SNL?
Live.
It's Daryl Hammond does
Daryl
Connery.
Hammond,
So
yes.
good.
Yeah,
That's the Jeopardy.
Yeah, Daryl Hammond does Connery.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Norm does Burt Reynolds.
Yes,
right.
that's who it is.
Speaking of Sean Connery, have you seen that movie Camelot with Richard Gere and Sean Connery?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, is it Camelot? I'll tell you the title of the movie, but it's good, man.
All right.
I'll find it for you.
All right, so last one. I have a couple places that I could go to. Honestly, I could pick the person from the slap clip that wasn't Sean Connery because I think his voice is iconic to me, Nicolas Cage. It's not going to be my pick. I also thought about maybe picking someone grating on your ears, like a Gilbert Gottfried.
I almost
Fran
did that too, Em.
Drescher.
I almost took Gottfried. I
Yes.
considered that, yeah.
But I think my tone of the ones that I've picked, I'm going to keep with the tone. I'm going to keep with this kind of like drawl, bringing in like southern like molasses voice. And maybe because I had True Detective on my mind,
Elmer Fudd.
I'm saying Matthew McConaughey.
Someone once told me time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done or will do, we're gonna do over and over and over again. And that little boy and that little girl, they're gonna be in that room. And again. And again. Forever.
All right, so I got Matthew McConaughey in my brain because I'm watching True Detective. So Matthew McConaughey is my last choice. So
I don't,
unique.
I
It's a
don't say
unique
this
draft.
often.
Yeah.
I like everybody's.
Yeah.
I really
it's
do.
good.
I like
his the best.
everybody's. His is great. They're all really, really good. I'm proud of mine. I'm proud of all of you guys. You did a good job.
I thought you were going to take just Dodgers. I thought you were going to take Chris Taylor, Outman,
Well, Outman is my guy.
and Yamamoto.
I don't know what Yamamoto sounds like yet.
That's why I
have to
thought-
see.
I was gonna take LeBron, D'Lo, and
Cam Reddish.
But if anybody has anything that we left off that you think that should be there, like definitely tweet at us or
Okay,
call us
I
in.
thought just
Yeah.
a couple that I didn't take. I was thinking Eddie Murphy. I was thinking Adam Sandler.
Sure, yeah.
What was the other one that
But
I
I
was
think
thinking
they're more
of?
comedic than like their voice stands out. You know, like Eddie.
Adam Sandler,
Yeah.
his voice is like it's so distinct. Like when
Rogan.
you hear.
Rogan's. a
Yeah,
good one.
Rogan's an interesting one.
He's like, hoo.
Yeah, that's
Where his
interesting one.
laugh sounds like, yeah.
I thought about Letterman. Letterman has a very kind of distinct one as well.
I'm still stuck on Emily's impression of Joe Rogan. That's gonna
Pretty close.
That's gonna stick with me for a little bit. The Lakers are hot, or are they just kind of happening? That's
there.
next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Most borrowers love home equity lines of credit for putting a couple $100,000 in the bank, but still preserving the ultra-low fixed rate in their first mortgage, which makes sense. But most banks love HELOCs because they can raise your rates as high as 24% by burying what they call the lifetime cap in their loan documents. Not at the Loan Exchange. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com to get our home equity line that protects you instead of the bank. We make the start rate of our equity line equal the lifetime cap, so your rate can only go down, never up. The Loan Exchange guarantees this security in our loan documents. The first 5 years of the loan is interest only, which makes payments cheaper while you wait for the
Zappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, and it, party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, oh party.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
I do think that we did leave out an entirety of people. We did leave out all women. And I think that Aaron Palmer was right to point that out to me. And so he gave a good list, and I think that's
Your
great.
fault.
It's my fault. I should have picked all women.
Yeah. You're only allowed to pick women,
Exactly.
Emily. That's
But Aaron had some great options. It was Judi Dench, Julie Andrews, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Tara Reid, Viola Davis. I think I would add Helen Mirren. There's also that one girl who's in Bound, and I gotta look it up really quickly, but she's got that, like, I'll find it in a second.
And the girl from The Rock, too.
Em, have you had a chance to go down to Craft by Smoke and Fire yet?
I have not.
Okay.
What's
the reason I ask is Josh Bentram, who is our pal down there. He's a very avid listener of the show.
Okay.
He always picks your list. So he just texted me and Jorge. He's like, Emily's killing you guys. So I just that you need to meet Josh because you guys see the world the same way.
Another great one was so Jennifer Tilly is who I'm talking about.
It's a good tree.
She's like, hey, Corky.
Really
like
high.
That. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yes, I'll go check out Craft by Smoke and Fire. It sounds great.
Saca la bolsita, way.
Yeah. If this helps you out, Em, I will not go so you can attend. Right? if that makes it easier for you to go down there, Jorge can take you down there. I will skip it so you.
I just looked at the pictures on the menu, and it's like amazing.
It's really, really good. I would highly recommend Slee the pastrami, the pastrami Reuben.
I haven't had that. I've been to the one in Pasadena, order a couple items. Yeah,
me too. I've been to that one as well. Let's go to Dave. Let's try a quick phone call. Dave, you're on with Trav and Slee. What's up, Dave?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Nobody mentioned Chick Hearn.
So it's funny, Dave.
That's Slee's fault. Emily gets the blame for the female representation, and Slee gets the Lakers.
I mentioned to these guys that Chick was, especially listening Jorge taking Vin. I thought of Chick. I kind of just made it more entertainment. Listen, if I hear a Chick Hearn highlight, I'm going back to as a kid. So there's certain people that it's more personal. I think I was just doing more Hollywood entertainment.
Come on.
It was Chick Hearn. So John and Ireland and I have talked about this a million times. We are so obscenely spoiled to have grown up here when we grew up here when it comes to sportscasters, because here's who was here. Scully, we know.
Yeah, he's LA iconic.
Right. Hearn, you know. Hearn invented the term slam dunk. He invented the term triple double. These are the things that he came up with calling games. So they were legends. Dick Enberg was calling UCLA basketball. Okay, Bob Miller is one of the great hockey play-by-play men of all time. Ralph Lawler was associated with a dreadful team, but is about as good as it gets. That you've had all of these unbelievable guys come through here and call all of these games, and it's just like, oh, everybody has Vin Scully. No, they don't. Everybody's got Bob Miller. No, they don't. That these guys in this town. Chick Hearn was not. I grew up in Phoenix for a period of time when Al McCoy was, I think Al McCoy still is the voice of the Suns. And so I thought everybody's just got this legend that's been here for a billion years. You don't. These guys are so rare. You got to appreciate it.
It's very local, right? So you might have, down in San Diego, just as an example, Jerry Coleman for years. Ted Leitner, who's still down there. You've had some, iconic, but they're more just local to San Diego. Some of these other ones in L.A., they're known across the country.
What's up, Yates?
What's up, Yates?
Not much. I'm just chilling. I heard your draft. That's a big miss out of you not getting Chick, Slee.
Well, I could have took Chick. I chose to go with the.
There are some guys. Dick Enberg, though. If we're getting into actual
we weren't doing
broadcasting stuff, the specific big word alert timbre of Dick Enberg's voice is part of it. Like the way he sounds, he could be calling anything. A parade, a grocery store.
I believe he did the Rose Parade. He did the U.S. Open. He did
tennis. He was
everything there was to do.
Fantastic. Love Dick Enberg.
Who was your guy as a kid? Like when you heard it, you knew it was a big deal.
Frank Herzog was a big deal. He was the voice of the Washington football team back at the time. And this is a little different because he was a TV guy, but George Michael was the George Michael Sports Machine. He's the reason I got into the this business to begin with. I used to intern for him, and he was an old radio DJ. I did get to push the button. He was he was an old radio DJ, so his voice was from that Big Bopper era. So I love George Michael.
Slee, the George Michael Sports Machine. Are you familiar?
No, I don't think I am.
So it
really?
was
George Michael Sports Machine.
It came on after our local news in LA.
Correct.
So your local news would come on Saturday night was the
Sunday night.
Sunday night. And Fred Rogan at the time had like Rogan's Heroes. He would do his Sunday night sports shows like 15 or 20 minutes. Big deal. This was right as SportsCenter really started to crank up.
It was before SportsCenter is what it was.
And then George Michael would come on. I didn't even know he's from D.C.
He did it from WRC TV Studios, Channel 4, 4000 Nebraska Avenue, Northwest.
Here's what you got in every George Michael Sports Machine episode. You would get the highlights of the day. And you would get either one of or both.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
NASCAR or rodeo.
Yeah,
you would get one or both of those at the end of the show. And he had this thing that looked like a giant reel-to-reel tape recorder that was the size of this room. And then he'd go, let's go to the sports machine. There was a button this big, and he'd hit the button. And that would start the sports machine. It was amazing.
This is back before they were putting music under sports highlights. Back before, and I remember I used to intern there. So what you did was you charted games, which means you wrote down time code of everything that happened based on the television shots, and they kept them all in a database. So when they had to refer back to it, they knew what to go to for the highlights. I mean, this is the early 2000s that I did it, but this was the tail end of the show. And so that's how I first got into it. But it started in the 80s, and it was a fantastic program. Well before people were doing wacky bits and sports guys were super serious, George was like, no. Passes and crashes on the track and guys getting thrown off of bucks was a part of the operation for sure.
First time I ever heard Daryl Earnhardt's name was on the sports machine.
That's why I like NASCAR to begin with, because I used to get put on I used to get put on races for that, and I got into it because I
passes and crashes. Was that like this? If it bleeds, it leads?
Correct. That's what you did for NASCAR.
I'm sorry, Dale Earnhardt was the Intimidator. I apologize for my heritage.
What did you call him?
The Terminator, but he's the Intimidator.
The Intimidator.
Rule number 3.
That's great. I love that you worked on that show.
Oh, yeah. That was a big part of who I was. Like, when I first we used to do this thing. I'll wrap this up quickly. At the end of each week, you got to do your own highlight reel, Sports in a Minute, because if you know how TV production works locally, you do the highlights for the morning of the night before. And if you were an intern, you got to do your own version of it.
Very nice.
And so I got to call a highlight, obviously on tape, next to George Michael on my right and Jim Vance, the late great, who was a legend in DC News. And I'll never forget the first time I did it, I freestyled and went off script and said whatever. And George looks at me, he goes, "You've never done this before? You're lying." And I was like, think I might be able to do this in this business. So it's pretty good.
Take me back. Did the opening, like, they'd come on the air, his opening was it always like a rhyme?
It was a tease, and he would sometimes, yes, basically, like he would sort of have a limerick type.
Yeah,
deal.
there was I'm not even going to attempt to do it, but it was a dun 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 dun. It was.
Imagine a '70s big bopper DJ.
Yeah,
you're talking up a record. That's
and then
exactly
he'd hit
what
the button.
he was. Yeah, it was great.
Like, you can't start the highlights if you
like
don't.
this.
The button was the size of Yates.
God bless George too. He was a mean SOB, but he liked me. So that's all that mattered.
That's the only thing that matters. So I want to try to slide this one in here too. Elvis in Panorama City. Elvis, you're on with Trav and Slee. What's up, Elvis?
Another beautiful day in L.A.
Right on.
Birds are singing, and I'm listening
Simone.
to ESPN 710, so it's all good. You guys left off two really big radio personalities.
Travis Rogers.
I thought you won, and then, Wolfman Jack.
Sure.
What
was the other one?
Wolfman, and then Casey Kasem.
Kasem would have been a great pick.
Yeah.
Kasem would have been a great pick.
Kasem, I believe, still coming to us from Beyond the Grave on his channel.
Does he have a Sirius XM channel or something?
Do,
yeah. You've heard the one. Thank you for the call, Elvis. You've heard when he's upset about the tone
That's
of the.
So funny.
It's one of the funniest things.
That's a radiophile classico. If you know,
Slee, do you know that one?
No.
I'm not even going to try to. You're going to listen to it, and then we can talk about it.
Because
Because
going off the handle at somebody in a way that you've never heard before.
Let's find it.
In that voice.
Yes.
It's great. It's Casey Kasem losing his you-know-what. It's terrific.
But Stern's also a great choice, too. And, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then one more thing, too. So I love this, sent me all the Werner Herzog amazing things, but someone sent me the Werner Herzog on Team Coco's podcast going that he loves Honey Boo Boo. So he says, like, this show is not on anymore. It's Honey Boo Boo, and I was like, this is the best.
I'm going to need to send it my way.
Yeah,
I need
it,
as Herzog is on my list. I need to have that Herzog thing. That's got to happen. Our picks against the spread, Slee. You got to get it in gear. We're running out of weeks.
Got some work to do, guys.
You got to do it. That's next. Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
Zappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here. The greatest sports bar on the planet inside Yamava Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, event party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app. And bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets? Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game for free.
ESPN.
All right, we're going to get to Slee's initial hearing of Casey Kasem losing his mind in a second. Yates, sit tight. We're going to do your travel snafu. Is that what it was?
There's a question I have to ask Californians that is something that came to mind as a result of me being on the road. That's the question.
We will do our best. Here's where we are after the wild card weekend. Emily won the regular season. She's going to force us all to go to Olive Garden. That's coming up before too long. After the wild card weekend, Jorge and I are tied at the top with 13. Emily right on her heels with 11, and Slee's got 7. So 6 more selections, 4 games, and 2 over-unders along the way. Slee, you're going first.
Okay.
Houston at Baltimore. Baltimore is a 9.5-point favorite at home.
It's a lot of points here. I'm going to play off of, I took this game, and it was the Buffalo-Pittsburgh game. Texans playing some good ball right now. I don't like the pick. I'm going to go 2. Give me Texans.
2 Texans. Emily.
All right, so I feel like the Texans this entire year have played games, even if they've lost, have played them pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ravens obviously have the week off. I think the Ravens ultimately win this game, but I think this is a duel between C.J. Stroud and Lamar Jackson, so you can come out almost like the Rams game. So I think that it's going to be I'm taking the Texans at 2.
Houston at 2 as well. Jorge.
Niners on my 4. We already know that.
No, not your 4.
I still believe it's going
not
to be
4.
Oh, it is 4.
6.
We got 6. We got 6
Niners
this week.
are my 6. And I'll take the Ravens here at my 3.
Ravens at 3. All right, I got the final selection. Baltimore's going to smash them all the way to the top. Baltimore with 6. They've had time. The Houston. Cool story. C.J. Stroud's awesome. We're done. The real people are getting here, and Lamar is real people.
Been playing.
That's why we're going to find out, Slee.
Playing.
Emily, you're going first here. Green Bay at San Francisco, 9.5 points as well for the Niners.
So while I think that the Ravens are going to play a close game with the Texans, I think this game is not even going to be even close to being close. I think the 49ers smash them. I think 49ers at my 6.
49ers, Jorge, we skipping you. I, too, agree with that. I think both of these number 1 seeds are going to roll. 49ers at 5. Al.
Damn. Everybody's sitting with
Look at me. It was
Niners.
just a swag system on my side.
9.5. I don't. As much as I want to do it, I can't do it because I don't believe the Packers will be in this game. Not as confident. I'll go Niners with my 3.
Niners at 3. Jorge is going first here. It is the game that the Rams had a shot to play in. It's the game against Tampa. Tampa at Detroit. Detroit 6.5-point favorite at home.
Man, I like the Lions on this one, and I'll pick them at my 4. Take the Lions.
Okay, Jorge, you and I are going to be, I got to decide because that's where I wanted to put them, but I need to split this up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Detroit at the 2, even though I want them higher than that. I got to play a little game theory here with the guy that I'm tied with, Sliwa.
Let's use this all the way up. 6 Lions.
Detroit at 6. M.
All right, so I'm going to go with – I'm sorry. Al, can you repeat what you had again?
All the way.
No.
6.
Lions at 6? Okay, great.
She does, see, the reason she asks is she doesn't trust me to do the math right, so she likes to keep her own tally.
That's what tally?
Wow.
I also have a very easy Google sheet that I can look for
Does
things
this look
really
complicated?
quickly.
Good. I like your chart. And
what
what
if we lose that piece of paper? I'm not going to lose my
He
laptop.
can't get hacked.
Been doing this for 6 years. I haven't lost a piece of paper yet. We're good.
All right. So I'm going to take the Bucks at 1. I think the Lions have played a lot of close games, and I think that 6 is a big margin. I think the Bucks could at least get within that. So I'm going to take Bucks by 1, though.
All right, we are to 4. This is my first pick. KC at Buffalo, closest game on the board. Buffalo is getting the 3 points you typically get for being at home, only they're calling it 2.5. So I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes until he's not available to bet against. I think that he is the best bet in the field just because of who he is and what they do. Last week was a weird game because it was so cold. We know that the Bills kind of trick things off, especially against Kansas City. So I'm going to take Buffalo at my Kansas City at my 3. KC at the 3.
First ever legit road playoff game for Pat Mahomes, though.
Yep, that's not a neutral site one, right? Everything else has been a Super Bowl. Al.
Yeah, tough for me to go against that. Until the Bills actually get a win like this, it's tough for me to pick the Bills. I'll go Chiefs with my 4.
Chiefs with the 4. Plus, you're getting points with the Chiefs, so you might be able to sneak out of it as well.
I am going to be in the same line of all of you guys. I think the Chiefs are going to be there. I think Chiefs 3. I think that Josh Allen is going to pumpkin himself a little bit.
Opportunity, Jorge.
Yep, opportunity.
Yeah.
The Bills at my 5, baby.
Bills at 5.
Wow.
By the way, if that hits, he's going to run away with it. He's going to run away with it. Al, back to you again. You're picking first here. This is an over-under on Josh Allen interceptions. Ooh. The interception is a half. Do you think he will throw one or not? Up or down?
Also a question. Do you remember the last time he didn't throw one?
No.
Oh, he actually hasn't thrown an interception in a couple weeks.
That's why I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
Easy, Gutu. Jeez.
Wait,
come
the
on.
last game he didn't throw. They played. Was it Miami?
They played Miami. No. They played Pittsburgh.
Miami in the final regular season game.
Right.
He
It's
definitely
a bit of a
threw.
misnomer.
He definitely threw picks there. I'm gonna actually go. I'm gonna go 1 on this. That I only got a 1 and a 5 left. I'll go 1 that he throws a pick.
So over for Slee
Yep.
on picks. M.
All right, so I think that Josh Allen is most definitely due. I think that, again, I'm going to be on my hater train, even though he did just beat my team, and that is something I have to live with. But I think that he will definitely throw an interception. The Chiefs' defense is good, so I'm going to do over at my 5.
Allen over at 5. Jorge.
Nope.
Over
Emily.
at my 1.
Emily.
Give me over.
Josh
at my
Allen.
1. Oh. Because mine was 1. Hers was 5.
Give me the over. I got my 1 and my 2 left. So I'll take the Josh Allen's at my 1.
All right, Josh
Over.
Allen at 1. I think Josh Allen is a lock to throw a pick. I'm going to take him at 4. We're all going over, so we'll see whether it happens. Patrick Mahomes, touchdown passes, over, under. Emily, you're going first. It's 1.5.
Right, and one, they have to catch the ball in order to be a passing touchdown. So we had to work with that with the Chiefs offense. 2, Mahomes has been running in more touchdowns lately. I am going to take the over. I feel like he's going to at least throw 2 passing touchdowns. So I have over at my 4.
Jorge.
I have my 2 left, so I'll go over, and you put him at my 2. Yeah.
Okay, I've only got the 1 left. I'm going to take the under on Mahomes just because I am trying to
win.
We'll see.
Okay.
I do think they're going to win. But it's going to be cold and all that stuff. We'll see. I don't love this, but it's only 1, and this is more game theory than anything else. So Mahomes at the under at my 1. Al.
We got 5 left. 5 over.
Over. Oh, see, this could go. I could get 6 on Al. I could get 5 on M, and I could get only 1 on Jorge. So we'll see.
Shakes out
We'll
well.
see. We'll see. And this could be the defining one. The
We'll
Buffalo.
see.
He's going to hit Buffalo. I already know. The gods are favoring Jorge's picks. I could see it coming
swag,
a mile
baby, that's
away.
it.
Why were you in Nashville?
I was in Nashville to cover something that, excuse me,
All right over there?
did not happen. No, I know.
Paging Dr.
Did not end up happening. But something happened where I have a question I have to ask. There were 8 inches of ice, 8 inches of snow, and it was 8 degrees in
Nashville.
Disaster. But there were many people in the hotel I was staying in who had never seen snow in their lives. And I realized, because I was telling people about this, and many people I know from California were like, yeah, I've never seen snow. Like legit,
falling from the sky, you
Falling
mean?
from the sky
Yeah.
had never seen snow in their lives. And these people were panicking because you got to understand.
It's the apocalypse.
Cold, it's cold as hell. You can't go anywhere.
Probably not prepared
I had to
for
borderline bully the hotel to keep the restaurant open because they were going to close it until I told them, hey, there's about to be a mutiny on the Bounty if you don't keep this daggone place open. But I'm wondering how many people around the station have never seen falling snow with their eyeballs, or when the first time would have been in your life if you're from California.
I know when. So I'm the right guy, right? My childhood was spent in Los Angeles and Phoenix.
Right.
Not a lot of snow in either of those
Neither.
places. I had not seen snow fall out of the sky until I was in the 8th grade.
Wow.
And
okay.
we took a trip to Tahoe.
Sure.
To go skiing for a weekend. That was the first time I saw it.
Slee?
Growing up as a kid, hail to us was like, oh, this is basically what a snowstorm is. So it shows you how Big Bear, I think, was the first time.
Okay.
So
how old were you?
Probably 20 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
so you're an adult.
Snow actually falling, yeah.
Yeah.
And everything else has been just, you
Well,
just
M's
see
from
snow,
a
it's already down
cold
there.
part of the country.
Sure.
So what about you, Jorge?
2017 or 18
Yeah.
in New
So
York.
just recently.
Yeah.
That's crazy to
In
me,
New
you know,
York.
because everybody's freaking out. What are we going to do? And I was like, okay, guys, like, I had to kind of handle the situation.
Had they
but-
never seen a movie?
Well, but still, if you're never in it, and it's that cold, by the way,
Did you
never
have
go to
them,
Nashville if it's snowing.
Did you have them start stretching right away?
No.
Did you
we
put
didn't
on the
do that.
softball
we didn't
cap
go to
and
the
say, I
stretch
got
mode.
you guys?
We didn't go to the stretch mode. We went to the gather around the campfire. We went to the Camp 710 mode. That's what we went to.
Start
because
drinking.
well,
You stuck
that's what
inside,
I'm
you start
referring to.
drinking, yeah.
Had a fireplace.
Remember
I
there was a
like,
point where
let's
we
get
thought
the whiskey moving.
that we thought we were going to do a Camp 710.
You thought I didn't.
No, there was no point in which we thought that. I was
And
just
you
talking
were
about it a lot.
so concerned and worried about it.
No. See, you're mischaracterizing.
No,
He was
because at the
ignoring it,
time,
is what he was
at
doing.
the time, A. Brown was talking about. She's like, "No, we're going to make this happen."
I wasn't worried about it. I knew it was never going to happen. And even if she did force me to go, I would have come up with a reason not to go. There would have been a family emergency the day before.
She would have won.
I still think it's a good idea. Just
I don't camp.
Back to snow real
Yes.
quick. So my dad has been alone this weekend because my mom has been at a like a conference in Orlando for veterinarians, and so my dad has given this time to text me my sister's stream of consciousness,
Awesome.
essentially,
Love that.
and it includes a lot of food. So Travis, you probably like that. A lot of stews. My dad's made a lot of stews, but it did snow in Virginia, and so my dad keeps on updating us, my sisters and I, who no longer live in Spotsylvania County, and my dad works and teaches in Stafford County, and it's like Stafford County snow day, Stafford County 2-hour delay. 2-hour delay is one of those things where if there's enough snow, you need a little bit of sunlight to melt the snow a
Love
little
a
bit.
2-hour delay,
2-hour
by
delay
the
means
way.
you start school a little later. Anyway, so he's like Stafford 2-hour delay. I'm like, Dad, I don't
Stop.
care.
Did you ever have growing up heat days?
No.
We
Snow
would-
days we had.
We
but-
would get school would get canceled because of heat days.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. When I was a camp counselor, sometimes you'd have to do indoor recess because it was too hot outside, but that's about it.
So, Jorge, you
not
might be
every-
the dividing line
Okay.
here. If you are my age and you grew up in LA, you definitely experienced what I'm about to say. My kids have never had this, and Jorge, you might be right on the crux. They wouldn't let you go outside because of smog.
Oh, man.
They in the 70s and
Yeah.
80s, if you were at school, there was no recess, there was no PE, there was no sports, there was no nothing. You could not go outside and run around because the air quality was so bad.
That's brutal.
We haven't had one in a really long time, but a smog warning was a real thing where we're shut down for the day. You can go to school, but we're not running
Just saying,
around.
inside the building. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Did you ever have smog days, Jorge?
No, but at that time in the 80s, I lived in one of the smoggiest cities in the world, Mexico.
Oh,
Mexico
okay.
City's one of the smoggiest ones. So
Yeah.
that's where I
It
experienced
was
it.
you'd walk up the flight of stairs at school and be,
Gee,
it's pretty good.
Not good, but yeah,
When-
I've just now thought out is the
Yeah.
point. So.
Well,
What are you going to do?
when I hit the floor and they opened me up, they're like, "How many packs a day did he smoke?" I never smoked a cigarette in his life.
Just went to school.
He
Why
must
is
be from LA.
California? Right, exactly.
He must be from
Why
LA.
did he smoke so much in middle school?
Oh my gosh, what a mess. The Dump coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Just got off the text chain with my man Armando at Rotolo Chevrolet. See, they take care of people, Slee. They take care of people. I had a question. Armando fixes my question, right? He's got an answer to the question. This is what they do at Rotolo Chevy in Fontana, California. They take care of people. They make sure that you get what you want. They make sure that they have an answer to your questions. That's why when you purchase that new car or truck at Rotolo Chevrolet, you feel great about it. You tell everybody about your experience, and they win Dealer of the Year. How many times? 13 times in a row. Think about that for a second. To be the best at something 13 consecutive years, you know you're knocking it out of the park, and that's what they're doing at Rotolo Chevrolet. Right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit, every Silverado make, model, color that you can imagine is sitting right there waiting for you. When you get in there, tell them that Travis sent you. And if you can't get in there, go online at rotolochevy.com. That's ROTOLO, rotolochevy.com, and we'll see you there.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app. And bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play. All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Zappy, it's going down Sunday at the 909 Sports Bar. Divisional playoff weekend, sucker. Right here, the greatest sports bar on the planet, inside Yamaha Resort and Casino. Ariel, Ella, and it, party. Let's go. Everybody better be out here Sunday for the game. Party, party, or party.
Yes, it's time for the dump.
I think you might be trying to pull a fast one on me and Slee. And let me explain why.
I agree. I don't even know why, but I agree.
Does it not feel like we talk about double teamed way more than once a year?
Hey, it's just brought up every time we talk about sports, every time we talk about basketball.
Talk about legendary movies.
You've talked. This is one of your favorite bad movies.
Yeah.
And was it a Disney movie?
It was a Disney Channel original movie. Took place in Palos Verdes.
Okay. And you said that the basketball sequences were dreadful. And
yes.
I feel like I've seen this movie. I've never seen it. And I only know about it because you've mentioned it to me.
That's probably all true. The freaking time. I had it on VHS. They cast 2 completely different women looking to play twins. And as I became an adult, I was like, they look nothing alike. They both blonde.
Well, they both have the same color hair?
Yeah, they're both blonde. But that's the only thing that they look alike whatsoever. But as a kid, I was like, they're indistinguishable.
Were they equal as athletes?
Kind of. Well, no.
Both bad?
Okay, here's the story. One was a really good athlete, really tough girl. Like she was like, I'm going to do this. The other one was more naturally talented, but she didn't care. She didn't go to practice as much.
Right there.
And so the
girl
tortoise
in the hair.
The girl that worked so hard was like, why do you not use your talents? What are you doing? And the other girl's
Kobe
like,
and
I'm
Shaq?
going to go talk to boys. I don't care about, I'm going to go talk to boys. And then girl, she's like, okay, well, I'm going to practice by myself. And so she's practicing by herself. She rolls her ankle. She breaks her ankle right before the championship
before the big game.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. And so she's like, I blame you, sister, because you wouldn't practice with me. And so, yeah.
Oh, is the climax of the movie, is it that the sister who didn't work hard realized the value of hard work?
That, and the climax of the movie is this absolutely bonkers last-second play where sister who works really hard is the point guard. She's dribbling with the ball. Her only move is that she's lifting up her heels back and forth. So she lifts up her heels back and forth, takes up 15 seconds.
Sure.
There's 5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
And
Well, she's running the shot clock. She wants to get the final shot.
Exactly. So she jukes one way
Yep.
and then goes the other way. A girl falls down
Yep.
for some reason, breaks ankles, and then she finds
She
her.
put an Iverson on somebody.
So-
by the way, and then a whistle was blown for illegal defense.
Right, exactly. Sister who likes boys and doesn't care is like, over here, I'm open. Slow motion, still seconds are coming off this clock. She throws her a terrible pass. Girl has to, sister who cares about boys, has to jump for the ball and then gets it off at the last second. Absolutely terrible basketball sequence.
But just so you know,
I kind of want to see it.
remember ESPN Classics? That game was on ESPN Classics. I saw
Should
it
be.
on there.
And ESPN
I saw it
is a
on
Disney property.
You've watched more television and film than literally I think anybody I know. You have an eye. You know quality from crap. If I gave you the equipment and a crew, could you make a better movie than that?
No, I probably just
No? No?
I maybe not. I don't know. I've
Because
I've
the
dabbled.
very specific shots and sequences that you're describing obviously made an impression on you. You would know not to have the basketball move be, I'm going to lift up my heels.
Or just,
you know
like,
that's not a
not
move.
have it in real time. So, like, they don't even slow it down to slow motion the entire time. If you slow it down to slow motion, I can make sense. The time on the clock is different than the time going there. But she's going in real time. Also, the coach is like, pass the ball. Anyway, this is crazy.
All right, here's one. The Bears, Broncos, and Saints all fit the criteria for Hard Knocks next season. Now, so if somebody doesn't volunteer to do it, the NFL can force either Chicago, Denver, or New Orleans to be on that program. If you had to pick one of those three, which one do you want? Because to me, I think there are two. There's two that I'd be dying to see and one that I could completely do without.
Also, by the way, we brought up the double team because it's the anniversary. It came out 22 years ago.
No,
today.
it didn't.
Everybody
There was no
knows
reason.
that. She just
It
felt
didn't
like
come
telling the
out till
story
June.
again.
Came out in June.
I guarantee you there will be a double team in the dump in March for sure.
But I like the Broncos.
Yeah, I want Denver.
Denver? Why?
Denver.
Sean Payton.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sean Payton of it all. The situation with Russell Wilson and kind of what kind of storylines you could take from there.
Yep.
That would be, and the other two teams don't seem all that interesting to me. I have a feeling I know where you're going with the. Are you going Bears on the other one?
The Broncos would be my second choice. The Saints, I have no interest in at all. That unless they're going to do a food component to Hard Knocks, then New Orleans is number one on the list.
Also, I could
Zion would host.
Zion's in it.
I could not pick Dennis Allen out of the lineup.
Yeah, the Saints don't interest me. The Bears have the number one pick.
Yeah.
If they draft a quarterback and keep Justin Fields there,
What that room's like.
let's go because they will.
wouldn't do that, right? Keep both?
Probably not, but it's not zero. It's not zero because what you could do too is you can't get what you want for Fields. You keep him. You decide that he's not the guy for the future, so you draft a quarterback and you're like, I'll figure this out as we go.
Yeah.
I will get something for somebody along the way.
They also are interviewing Cliff Kingsbury for their OC job. So he worked with Caleb Williams last year.
You just want Cliff Kingsbury because Cliff Kingsbury, right?
Because he's hot.
Because he's he's never known what he's doing. But I understand your interest in this. But that's
what you know what they're doing when you're good looking.
Right. Just show up and do your thing.
That's why we have to work hard.
Damn right. The Bears, that's what makes the conflict. One guy might lose his job.
Sure.
And one guy may take it from, and especially if there's this power struggle and you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out, who wouldn't want to watch
Especially
that?
with Caleb, which with what we have kind of observed a bit about his personality, I think that he would be interesting.
Do we know what
Yes.
What is the criteria?
So you have to have not a new head coach,
Right.
have to have not made the playoffs the year before.
And haven't been on in X amount of years.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So there are some teams that cannot say no. So if
Right.
they go to you, you don't have the right to say no. So
If
that's
you
why
could
the
pick
Jets.
anybody, the criteria aside, say, I want to know what's going on inside that room. Who are you taking?
Me, the Rams.
The Rams? Why?
We never hear anything about them.
The Rams were on it a few years ago, and quite frankly, kind of boring.
That's because they made the transition here,
Yeah.
and then the coach was just
Yeah.
spitting
question.
things
Okay.
out.
Honestly,
You feel me?
Eagles.
Eagles?
Eagles, 100%.
Why?
Because, one, we don't know what's happening with Sirianni. So if Sirianni stays, I want to see what's going on in the locker room because clearly they were calling Jalen Hurts a you-know-what word on the sidelines. And they seem to be a little bit mad at Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. And then the Philly people are crazy.
Is the obvious answer not the right answer?
What?
Dallas.
Eh.
Is it? I'm genuinely asking.
I think it's for me too. I don't really
You
care.
had Dallas 2 years ago.
But Jerry Jones is great TV.
But you didn't watch the Dallas 2 years ago.
But the one that I did see several years ago, he seemed to take genuine enjoyment from cutting people. Like he's the only person I've ever seen that seemed to enjoy the process of telling people they just lost their livelihood. The facilities are unbelievable. There are some compelling characters. Micah Parsons would be good. CeeDee Lamb would be good. Dak is good. Like there just feels like you have all the elements for that.
I'm Eagles all the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Would a really good team be boring because they're really good? Would the Niners be an interesting one?
I want conflict. I want drama. I don't know who's going to survive this face-off. That's what would be interesting to me.
The source of all interesting television is conflict.
Yeah. And Mike McCarthy in a meeting with Jerry Jones, and Jerry's like, we're taking this guy. And McCarthy's like, well, what about this? No, we're going to do that. That would be great TV.
And that's why I think the Eagles is the team with the most conflict and the most expectations.
When you guys get, I got a quick one for you, Ireland, specifically, because Mace, you are you've been in LA a long time, but you didn't grow up here. Do you remember smog days, John, in school? Did you get them down in Orange County too?
Yeah,
smog days.
Yeah,
well,
they wouldn't
had,
let
like,
you go outside.
When Mason grew up, they have snow days.
Yeah,
right. That's how we got on it.
We would always root for snow.
We had heat days, so you literally do not go to school because it's too hot.
You could just adopt what I did when I was at UCLA, and if there was any precipitation whatsoever, I'm out.
I'm staying in.
You know what that was? Love Boat, 10 o'clock on Channel 5.
Mason, had you ever heard of that smog days?
I've never heard of smog days.
Yeah, when I was in elementary and junior high, when it was the air quality index was whatever over a certain threshold, no PE, no outside, no nothing. You'd go to school, but you wouldn't do anything. You'd just stay in the classroom all day.
When did smog stop, or did it?
20 years ago.
20,
my kids have never experienced a smog day.
No, I think they finally realized, well, we live here. There's smog every day.
But the air is a lot better.
Yeah, the air is
a lot better.
Yeah, so it was really bad, huh?
Oh, I mean, do you remember like you'd go to the beach or whatever, you'd go ride your bike around the neighborhood. At the end of the day, it felt like you smoked a pack of Camel
Carson
non-filters.
used to joke about smog in
Right.
LA all the time. That was a big thing.
So when I was in Beaumont, Texas, that was my second stop in TV. There were 7 oil refineries in town, and it smelled like you could smell the chemicals in the air. Trav, I'd be playing golf, and after 3 holes, my lungs would be burning, and I would look at like the pro at the play. I go, This has got to be taking years off of our lives here, doesn't it? And he goes, well, it's not helping.
No.
But yeah, we take Southern California weather for granted, I think.
We got started on this because DeAndre Ayton got stuck in the ice.
Yeah, I
in
saw
Portland
that.
and
Michael
missed a
said
game.
that happened to him once.
Yeah.
When he was playing for the Blazers.
But it's not a cold. It's not a snow/ice city. So when it hits it, that's it.
Right. People don't know how to deal with it.
Stuck
Yeah.
in their spot. You know what we should do, Jorge? A little Supercross talk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Why does Travis hate you guys? What did
Who knows?
What did we do to piss Travis off?
It could have been.
He's got a bigger name on the other line. He's got to go.
Yeah, it could have been the pitch clock.
Yeah.
It could have been the pitch
Pitch clock.
I think that's
Yeah.
the one. And puppies.
No,
Those
he's
are-
right. Emily said he's pulling a Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
Just walks away. Just
Okay,
walks away.
I don't know if you guys heard this at all. So Thursdays we do our draft. Most iconic voices. Em, can you give a little background to this? Why we picked this specifically?
All right, so it's James Earl Jones' birthday yesterday. And so it got me thinking, James Earl Jones is known for his voice. He's voiced so many different things.
Baseball.
And that there's a million other people where we know them almost more for their voice than anything else that we do. So that's why we did that draft.
Okay.
Kind of did a
That's good.
Kind of did a combination here. A lot of it is entertainment driven.
Sure.
Jorge, I think, probably has the best list.
It's a good
because
list. I'm looking
he
at it
went-
right now.
He went sports. But looking at them all, Em, if you want to walk through a couple of them that Travis picked, Jorge, and you guys can determine. And I know there's going to be always ones that we're missing. John probably says at the end, "You're all idiots." You
Right.
missed this
You're
one,
all idiots.
which is usually the theme.
Yes,
So,
it is.
Em, what's the list there?
All right, so Travis had James Earl Jones. So baseball.
Iconic.
Yeah. So
First
great
pick. That was the number
First
one
overall.
pick.
Baseball.
Baseball.
By the way, a little nugget.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones grew up a stutterer.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
to know.
Overcame
Bill
that.
Walton.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
So the next one that Travis picked, he got it on the turnaround. He got Werner Herzog, and so if you don't know who he is,
I
this is his
love
voice.
this. Yeah.
Now we test him. How do you feel about the high salaries of today's baseball players?
He's
That's
a
a great
German
voice.
director, actor. He's awesome.
Yeah,
and then,
he's great.
Travis also had Christopher Walken.
Guess what? I got a fever.
That's
the
a good
only
one.
prescription
It's a good pick.
is more cowbell.
More cowbell.
Yeah, Walken's great. You ever heard Jay Moore do
Jay
Walken?
Moore does
He
a
has
great
really good
Walken. I would argue
Yeah.
that now people do an impression of Jay Moore doing Walken because his
yeah.
Walken is so good.
All right, Jorge's.
Mm-hmm.
And play the probably the most iconic of them all.
I don't. Oh, so the second pick?
No, well, I
Okay.
was gonna say this is Homer, right?
Oh yeah, so this is Homer.
Who the devil are you?
Don't panic. Just come up with a good story. My name is Mr. Burns.
All right, so Dan Castellaneta was Jorge's first choice, and I feel
It's a
like
good
that was
one.
more of a protective.
That's a
pick.
little reach for a first choice
I
there,
don't know. Bart
Briones.
Simpson. We all know that name.
Doesn't he do several? Doesn't Castellana do several
several
voices on The
Yeah, he
Simpsons?
does a few of them. Yeah.
And the
Yeah, Hank Azaria used to do several too, but he said like 4 of his voices have been canceled because you can't make jokes.
Yeah, you can't
Like,
make
he used to
jokes about
remember-
Indian people
Remember
anymore.
he did Apu,
Yeah,
who owned
probably
like
never
the
should've.
AM PM,
Yeah.
and now he says I can't do it anymore because I'll get in trouble, so he doesn't do it.
How come? I swear, there's certain. I feel like South Park gets away with everything.
South Park does.
They don't care.
They don't care.
South
Okay.
Park and Curb get away with anything.
They
they want.
want you to
cable,
come
too.
after him. Yeah.
So it's cable.
Yeah, it's
Right.
part of the storyline there. And round up the list: Vin Scully, John Madden, Jorge. John Madden, I actually that's kind of an underrated one as well. Just
Yeah.
as iconic as it gets. I did Morgan Freeman.
Great one.
Did Arnold.
Yep.
Did Sean Connery.
Sean
Connery, only
Connery.
for his work on The Rock. That's it. None of his work. Only The Rock.
Yes.
And then Emily, what do you got there?
And Liam Neeson, obviously,
one.
for Taken and for playing Aslan and Chronicles of Narnia. And then I had Sam Elliott.
Excellent.
Love him. He has got a great voice. And I had Matthew McConaughey because I'm very much in the True Detective mindset right now. And McConaughey, all right.
So are you in the crowd that says this Jodie Foster True Detective is great?
It is excellent.
It is out there.
Yeah, it's
It is
excellent.
a mystery box show where you gotta be like excited about the mystery.
Okay.
And I think
It's
that
a
Jodie's
really
good.
interesting mystery.
Yeah.
It's a group disappearance.
And I love a polar bear showing up where a polar bear isn't supposed to be because a la Lost. But I think that the first season of True Detective is obviously the best season.
And by the way, the other lead in True Detective is an actress named Callie Reese, who is a professional boxer
with HBO.
with HBO, right? And says she's not retired.
Yeah.
Says she's still She's been off a couple of years, but she is just a natural.
Emily, were you a Lost fan?
I loved Lost.
Okay, I got a good Lost story that
Okay.
Mason's heard me tell this a million times, but it's I just love the fact that they did this. So when they shot the pilot for Lost, they shot it in Hawaii and they went way over budget.
The most expensive pilot, I think, still.
Like they had $1 million budget and they spent something like $3 million, and it was like you couldn't. And so ABC, owned by Disney, said to the executive in charge of ABC Entertainment at the time, a guy named Lloyd Braun, hey, you cannot do this again. You just blew up our budgets. I don't care how good you think this show is. You cannot go $2 million over budget. And Lloyd says, okay, I got it. But Lloyd Braun knew that the show was going to be a hit. So he told the creators, look, you guys do the show you want to do. I'll worry about the money. We're just going to do what we want, and we'll apologize later. So they shoot the first episode, and again, it goes like $1 million over budget. And the Disney guys say to Lloyd Braun, dude, if you do this again, you're fired. I don't know how to explain this to you, but you cannot. This isn't a blank check. And he goes, you guys don't understand. This is going to be a monster hit for us. Mm-hmm. And so, sure enough, second episode, they do it again. And they go to Lloyd Braun, and they say, you're fired. And he's out.
Wow.
And now the show has not aired yet.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then the show debuts to a massive number.
Kills it.
Gets all the money back on right after the pilot. So the creators sneak Lloyd Braun onto the soundstage after he's been fired and he's persona non grata on the lot. And you know at the beginning of any show where they do the flashbacks? So if you now go back and watch any episode of Lost, and the creators did this just to give a middle finger to the guys that fired him, the voice you hear when they go, previously on Lost, is Lloyd Braun.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And they did that as a thank you to him for sticking with him, and because the show wouldn't have even gone on the air
Ireland,
without him.
did you watch Lost?
No.
Okay. Season 1, masterpiece. Yes. Everything that came after, stupid.
What the heck?
Did it still
Everything
kill it?
after,
Did it still,
Smoke Monster, Vault in the Ground. The first season was fantastic.
And you're in on all of it.
Finale, whatever. Finale, it's so good. I love a show where it just goes bonkers. It like you never solve everything because it makes you like a rabid fan. You go back and rewatch things. You go on Reddit and you go see what's going on. I know you guys don't like Reddit, but like
here's my argument on Lost.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think they knew where it was going after season 1. Most shows they map out. Okay, here are 5 years, and this we're going to this
direction.
Lost just started making stuff up as they went along.
Although, if you get the right combination of people, that Vince Gilligan will tell you today that he put every idea he had into season 1 of Breaking Bad because he was convinced there would never be a season 2. Then season 1 hits, and they start going to work. And if you've watched all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad, it builds like a ladder. Like season 1 is great. Season 2's a little better. Season 3 is the introduction of Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring. That season is incredible. Season 4 is off the chart, and then they nailed the finale.
They were going to kill off Pinkman, right? They were trying to kill out Jesse in the very first season.
In the first season,
to change their idea. So if anyone out there, though, does like Lost, check out the show Yellow Jackets. It's essentially Lost, but with girls, a soccer team, kind of like the Uruguayan.
What network is Yellow Jackets on?
It's on Showtime. So if people have Showtime, but it's kind of the same thing where they have a 3-season plan. And they're on season 2.
Okay.
So.
There's, by the way, there is a show about or a movie, I guess, about the Uruguayan
Society of the Snow.
Society of the Snow.
Spanish.
It was made. That story was made previously. Frank Marshall directed. It was actually a really good movie. I've had people tell me, watch Society of the Snow, and I'm like, no, I'm not watching a show with cannibalism.
I thought you were going to say I'm not watching a show with subtitles.
God.
I don't mind. By the way, I don't mind subtitles that much anymore.
But
that's
Lost,
funny.
Every penny of that was worth it because that first episode, it's epic. It's like a movie, and that's why it's great.
Mace, have you seen Zone of Interest?
No, I hear it is. Who saw it?
No, so I asked. She's already seen it. I asked recommendation. I'm going to go see a movie on Saturday. I'm like, okay, which movie should I go see? She's been telling me about Godzilla -1, which I still haven't seen.
Right, which is supposed to be really good.
She said, here's 2 recommendations. The other one was Zone of Interest.
Ooh. I have friends that saw that movie who are like, oh.
Yeah, she said that.
But it super sticks with you afterwards, yeah?
It's a tough subject, and it's a subject that doesn't really get shown a lot. And it's something that you watch the entire thing, and you can't wait for it to be over, These are horrible people, and you're spending a lot of time with absolutely despicable people.
Yeah, I don't know if I need that in a Saturday afternoon
you don't
movie.
Have to. I just thought Al might like it.
And
Which
I
is
think
why
it might be a
suggested
Saturday afternoon movie. Thing is, the previews don't give enough off to where you think, oh my gosh, right? The previews don't.
No.
Because the preview, minute and a half, whatever it was.
It is historical. So
Her explanation, I'm like, yeah, that's, how do I sell that to Michelle?
That's tough. Yeah, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
I don't think you do.
let's just
All right, go see
nice
Mean
Saturday
Girls, the
afternoon.
musical.
Yeah.
It's either Mean Girls or Zone of Interest. Which way are you going to go?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Are we on
Have
a
you
little...
seen it, John?
Not yet, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the first one, and I like musicals,
You
so
will,
I'm in on it.
You will enjoy it. There's a lot of good callbacks with little slightly elevated jokes.
And I hear my girl Lindsay Lohan makes a very brief cameo.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yes, and I was trying to have Travis not
Who
know
likes
that.
Lohan more, John or Trav? Because Trav
Boy, it's
basically...
pretty even.
She's been on my radar for a long time.
Both of them will go on about Lindsay Lohan.
Well, as you know, I love train wrecks, and she for a while was at the top of the train wreck list.
She's better now, right?
She's a little better.
No, she seems to have gotten
better.
Well, she got married. She's having a kid, or
Yeah,
had
well,
a kid.
okay. So she's like adopting a normal
She got half
life.
a mil for that
Yeah,
cameo.
she got-
It's literally like 10 minutes max.
$500,000 million bucks. Good for her.
It's a quality cameo though, so you'll like it.
Okay, good.
A little bit of a heater here for the Lakers.
Last night, we're going to get into this next, but last night I thought was their most complete game of the season, and I'll explain why. But did you stay for the game?
No, didn't stay for the whole game.
That game, I'm so glad Mason was there because he never goes, and he went last night, and you hit a monster parlay, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But that game is why
Okay.
every team in the league is scared if the Lakers make the playoffs that they'll draw them in the first round. Because if they play like that, they can compete with anybody. And they dominated fast. They were ahead at the end of the first quarter, head at halftime, blew it open in the
third quarter.
Way ahead on fast break points, way ahead on points in the paint, way ahead in points off of turnovers. They made their threes. If they play like that, they can go back to the Final Four. But as you know, Slee, they don't always play like that.
they're just not consistent.
But I think they're going to win tomorrow. I think they're going to win Sunday.
Yeah.
And
getting
then
4 in a
Tuesday,
row.
Wednesday of next week gets interesting. Chicago, who beat us when we were there.
Yep.
And then the Clippers, who the Lakers have defeated twice. And the Clippers are hot. So, but I think they're building something. They're getting it right.
All right, Michael's going to be proud of me. You know how he plans out his in and out trips?
Yeah.
Right.
He
Michael
went last
basically,
night.
and I love the way he plans it out. He's got paper plates in the car. He's got condiments in there.
There is a system.
Mace, he's not messing around when he goes.
Oh, God.
I'm going to In-N-Out right when we're done here.
Right.
So it's a good little send-off here. Brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. Always fresh, made to order at In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger's all about. Mason Island coming up next.
Friday, we're giving away fifth row tickets to a Lakers game.